Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk, and we have high school football going on right now that we're about to get you updated on here in just a few minutes. But when it comes to the Vols, specifically about the bowl game that the Vols are going to find out that they are in coming up on Sunday, they will be playing in that bowl without senior cornerback Alante Taylor, as he announced late last night that he will not participate in the bowl game. He's going to forego that and get ready for the 2022 Senior Bowl happening in February, as well as the NFL Draft. Now, when it does come to high school football here in the state of Tennessee, we've already got one championship done. That's Division II AA, as Lipscomb Academy beat CPA 27-0. And right now, Donaldson Christian and Nashville Christian are going on in the Division II Single A championship, and Donaldson is up 14-0. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans and home to 3HL out at T-Mobile. This is 104.5 The Zone.
By the way, we're live, 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Thanks for the heads up, Hunk. Jeez.
Yeah, no
I
text
gave
or
you
nothing.
one.
Nope, wasn't
We
enough.
didn't see it, Hunk.
Wasn't enough. Welcome in on this Thursday. Dawn Davenport alongside Ron Slay.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. 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 What's up, people? And guess what? Not only am I in the building, I'm fresh off the road from a building with no roof, where you'll be at. Oh, and I'll be there too Saturday.
You'll be there, yeah. I was about to say tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah, it's not Friday yet. It's Friday Eve, though.
You made the trip to Chattanooga to watch some state championship high school football this morning. Did you watch CPA and Lipscomb?
I did. I got to see the
local
first half.
teams?
Yes, really got to it. Got to see the first half of it. Really good game to start. It didn't end in favor of CPA.
Nope, and that is where our fearless leader, Brent, the mayor, is. His son just wrapped up his high school football career for CPA, his final game, senior over there at CPA. So congrats to them on a great season. Congrats to Coach Stilfer.
Yeah, the first one. First one for them. Not the first one in history, but the first one since Dilfer.
For him as
go.
the head coach.
There,
he was super emotional too.
Yeah. See, I didn't even get to see that.
Game. Yeah, very, very emotional. So congratulations to them. And then there's 9 games over the next, I think, 3 days, 9 state championships. I know means a lot to the kids playing.
Yep. And so listen, we named teams yesterday that were involved, and yes, we left some out because honestly, we just left some out.
Did we get yelled at?
Somebody hit me up and said, "Oh, you can't forget about such and such on Twitter." Now I forgot again who they even said. So I'm sorry. So call in.
And now you don't even remember who we forgot?
No, because I'm so
everybody.
focused on my job that I got to do on Saturday as being a spotter for Dawn Davenport, people. Her and Ramon Foster. I will be the spotter.
Gosh.
So the stadium ain't got no roof.
Lord help us all.
The booth ain't got no roof. I know I'm not supposed. I just heard that I'm not supposed to talk.
Right. Because you're going to be right by me, where my headphone microphone will be as I'm doing play-by-play.
I don't know what they want me to do with that.
Just keep it clean, Slay.
Okay.
Keep it clean.
Thank you, Babs.
Yeah, so it'll be a fun weekend. Congrats to all of our local teams, all of our local athletes on great seasons, and regardless of what happens, obviously, still a great season. So,
yeah, it's about the journey, people.
It's about the journey. We've got a booked show today. Ramon Foster will join us in the 5 o'clock hour. Savagery. We'll talk a little. I want to talk to him about. He spent quite a few years in the NFL. What does a bye week look like? Is it different position wise? And obviously, we know for the Titans, a lot of this bye week looks like rehab and and get healthy and all of that. But we'll talk to him. Also, Danny Kanell. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say about Ramon, too, is something else we got to dive into. A lot of different thoughts on Alontae Taylor sitting out bowl games and things of that nature, getting ready for the Senior Bowl. So we could talk to him about that also. I know a lot of people. I was enlightened on something about it that I really didn't understand. And
enlightened on why he would?
Why he would, why he would sit out of the bowl game.
Well, I will say this. He's been battling injury.
Boom.
Is that it?
Boom.
Is that what you were enlightened about?
Yep.
Yeah. It's and I get it. I didn't. I'm not going to judge because your thing is you start a season, you finish it, you don't walk out on your teammates.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But I don't know. I just there's your future kind of depends on if you're healthy when you're a fringe guy,
right.
in that NFL draft. For him, I think it's obvious he's played through an injury. I want to say like the last 3 games.
Right.
And so this is his chance to really get healthy. So I understand that. You understand that. But as far as other kids that decide to forego a bowl game, I can't really judge them for it.
No,
I don't think because, I mean, there's so much writing on that and their future and the fact that they come out healthy.
Yeah.
Now, I think it makes you respect those that – sorry, we're at. I forgot to say we are at T-Mobile, and the windows are tinted, and so
a man just walked up to the
looking in the window. It makes me nervous.
It's all good.
He's probably listening to us in the car now.
Y'all come by.
Hey, you can walk into the store and say hi. You don't have to be creepy looking through the window like that. We're at T-Mobile, by the way.
Oh, across from the mall.
Yes, across from Green Hills Mall, 3800 Hillsboro Pike. It's the intersection of Hillsboro Pike and Glen Echo. Did you see the panic in my face?
I did.
What is this dude doing? So please don't creepily come look in the window. Just walk inside and say hi to us.
Yeah, we're down for a conversation.
We met Lenny earlier. He came and said hi.
Yes,
so
he did.
Good to see him.
Mm-hmm. A lot of construction workers around here. So
yes, and that 4 a.m. wake up call that remember me from my morning news days at 4 a.m. Good to see all of you. So here's some of the things going on here at T-Mobile before we get into the rest of our guest list.
Mm-hmm.
Pie Town Tacos, serving lunch from 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock. So you have another hour to get out here. Kirby will tell you the truth.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Food tester.
Right? Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, there's no savvy nice coming out of Kirby over there. He was like, man, that food was good. Yeah. Those tacos are really good.
And they'll bring it to you in the store.
Yes. So I'm about to try them. You have till 4 o'clock for Pie Town Tacos. Daddy's Dogs is is serving from 1 to 4 2 on Friday. That's tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll be out here live tomorrow as well. So you can go ahead and put that in your calendar if you want and come see us. Yes. Holidays are for being together. T-Mobile is celebrating the holidays with you. Join us here at 3800 Hillsboro Pike. We're here from 1 to 6 today, 1 to 6 tomorrow as well. And tons of awesome deals from T-Mobile, your hometown network. Celebrate the holidays with us at the brand new T-Mobile store right here at 3800 Hillsboro Pike. I'm trying to convince my partner over there to get an iPhone.
Listen, people, when you come in the store, you have to choose a side. Now, right now, it's a lot of people against me. I'm Team Droid, Team Galaxy.
Dumb.
And they're running around with these iPhones, these silly little idiot-free iPhones. I just learned that.
Are you going to tell our listeners
what
about the fact that you didn't get to say hi to Mayor today because you don't have an iPhone and all of your messages didn't go through to his? Are you going to tell them about that? You're just going to leave that out?
No, I beg to differ. I think it's more so because everybody on that network was iPhones and y'all just didn't want my phone to get through. So it's a block. It's a block on it. Team Galaxy.
Here we go, Jim.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Thanks, Hunk.
All right. What else do we have going on? Danny Kanell will join us at 4:45.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll talk about some of the championship games this weekend. Anybody who follows him on Twitter or has listened to our show before when we've had him on, we know that Danny Kanell hates the SEC. He is a proclaimed SEC hater, so we can go at him for that. But some opinions from him, pretty strong opinions on the coaching carousel and what's going on in college football, and we'll talk courtesy of Bet Online, some of the odds for the championship games and what he sees in those games as well. And then, of course, Greg Cosell, we will break down the Titans game from last week. I know. Do we really want to do it?
Listen, it's the bye week, so we still got time to lick our wounds, so it's
we
okay.
do. Yep. We'll do. Okay. You know what? We'll do a wash away toast next week. Right?
And we got a Colts fan in the house too, by the way. So yeah.
Uh-oh.
Put his little hands down. Put your hands.
We don't want that.
Put your hands out there.
5 games left.
Yeah.
It would
Just
be nice
saying.
for Titans fans for those Colts to lose a whole bunch of those last 5.
This is very true.
And not keep rolling. So that's what it looks like today. Want your calls, jump in, whatever you want to talk about. You know, we mentioned yesterday that we were going to hit on Ryan Tannehill and his struggles and what is going on with him. And we'll talk to Greg Cosell about what the actual tape shows. Of course, I remember last week when we were talking about one of Ryan Tannehill's picks, and Cosell was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to ask him."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the heck he was looking at when he threw that ball. But what does this week? Yeah, what does this week show Cosell? And maybe a question about how much of his performance is on maybe receivers not in the right place, and sometimes it's hard to tell just watching the tape if you're not in there. With the team, with the coaching staff, knowing where people are supposed to be. But we'll hit Greg Cosell on that as well. So packed show. We want you involved. 615-737-1045. Your take on Ryan Tannehill. What is going wrong? I wish it was past tense, but it's not. What's going wrong? And then what else did you ask me today, Slay?
I also asked you about how do you feel about guys missing bowl games? And
and getting guys back from injury and IR for the Titans.
Yeah, thank you, Babs. Yeah. How do we feel as far as Titans fans? How do you move forward? You got the Jaguars coming out of the break. Do you want to rest your guys? Let them take another week to get healthy and just depend on the guys you got coming into the game? Or do you rush everybody back? Hey, man, we need you out there for this 5-game stretch. Get ready for the playoffs. What do you want to do?
God, that IR list is so long that you could go half and half, right?
I said Jaguars expecting that to be a victory, Babs. You kind of pushed me back a little bit.
I did, because you know what I said?
What?
Texans.
And then I was going to say.
Do you know what else I say?
Home game.
Jets.
Yeah. You're not making it easy on me, Titans.
Just saying. All right, we'll hit all that coming up. Going to take a quick break. Here we are live at the T-Mobile store across from Green Hills Mall. Come say hi to us. Come get some street tacos. You got about 45 minutes left for that. Come see us. 3HL. More after the break. Stick around.
Upton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, that's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle if you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep. These are your guys. So if you're out there looking around dealership to dealership, make sure you include my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Daniel Gupton and the guys are ready to help you, and that's what will happen. There will be no pressure on you at all when you go see these guys. They simply want you in the right vehicle, the vehicle that's right for you and your family in some cases, and that's what will happen. Go take your test drive, ask your questions. They'll have your answers. You'll go inside. They'll help make the numbers work. It'll be that easy. I've bought multiple vehicles from these guys. They're awesome people. You're going to love them at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Take 24 west, exit 35, and it's a straight shot. 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. The entire inventory is there. All of the dealership information is there as well. GuptonMotors.com.
Now, a high school football scoreboard update. Presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office on 104.5 The Zone.
Halftime in the D2 Single A State Championship in Chattanooga. Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica. It's DCA leading Nashville Christian 14-0 at the half. Ashton Jones, DCA running back, with 2 short yardage touchdowns and 78 rush yards at halftime. Earlier today, D2 AA action. Lipscomb Academy claims their 4th state title, a 27-0 win over CPA. And later tonight, 6 o'clock kickoff for the D2 AAA final from Finley Stadium. It is MBA and McCauley going head-to-head at 6. Designate a sober game plan. If you've been drinking, don't drive. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Welcome back in, 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back in from Hillsboro Pike, right next to Hillsboro High School.
The mayor's school.
The mayor's old stomping grounds, and he's not even here to enjoy it.
No, he's not, but he'll be here tomorrow.
He will. He'll be back, and he'll be live. We are actually going to be live here at the T-Mobile store at 3800 Hillsboro Pike today and tomorrow. And today you can get some tacos.
Yeah.
Until 4 o'clock. So come say hi, come see us, come visit the T-Mobile store, walk in and say hi as well, and grab you some tacos. And then, Mayor will be back tomorrow. Dawn Davenport alongside Ron Slade. Joe Hunk behind the glass back at the station.
Yes.
Some NFL news today. Antonio Brown and Mike Edwards both suspended 3 games for violating COVID protocols.
Wow.
When we say violating COVID protocols, that would be
forging. Would that be it?
I mean, is that what you say?
I mean,
misrepresenting is what the the word the NFL is using. Misrepresenting their COVID vaccination status.
And then AB and Mike Edwards both suspended without pay, which is a nice sum.
Yep.
For the next 3 games. And the free agent John Franklin III, if signed by a club, is also ineligible to play in the next 3 games. All 3 players have accepted discipline and waived their right of appeal. The suspensions are effective immediately. So if you waive your right to appeal, that means it's pretty much, y'all caught me.
Yeah.
My bad.
And before you get on the phones or on Twitter and say, well, what about Aaron Rodgers? Why isn't he suspended for 3 games? Because he never lied about it. He never said that he was actually vaccinated.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily tell the public, but he didn't tell the league that he was vaccinated when in fact he wasn't.
What was his word he used?
No, what did he use?
Immunized.
Immunized, yes.
That's right. That was clever.
That was not clever enough.
Yeah, but not clever enough. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Of course, you probably remember Antonio Brown's vaccination status was talked about when I think it was the Tampa Bay Times. It was a newspaper, and one of his cooks or somebody had said that he faked or paid for a counterfeit vaccination card and faked a vaccination card.
And they had the text messages.
Yes. And so the NFL had to investigate into that. And there you go. A review supported those allegations. And those 3 players all violated the protocols. So 3-game suspension. I think AB was hurt anyway, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But I think he was able to come back and play soon. I think it was right around the corner. If not a week out, 2 weeks out. But you can really see the difference with him not involved in that offense too. So looking at it last year when he was out of the game and then came back towards the end, and a lot of people were saying, AB don't got it, AB this. Man, the dude is a talent. Like, you're not in that league without being a talent. So, man, they really miss him. Need to get him back. Not as high-powered without a guy like AB. Tough. But who's going to cry when the Titans have had 86 players suit up and play?
Oof.
Who cares about what Tampa Bay is going through? Good luck with it. That's what I think they say. So
we had that conversation yesterday with Coach Mack as far as, this is the bye week. I don't think I've ever remembered a team ever needing a bye week more than the Tennessee Titans, needless to say, this week in week 13. And then Coach Mack, we talked about these numbers that the Titans have had just 13 players suit up for each of their 12 games this season.
Right.
So the same player available, suit up, starter for every single game this season. They have only had 13 different players. You do the math. You know how many players play on each side of the ball. That's not good.
No.
And that is actually 5 less than the next closest team. So that gives you and the teams that are not having injury issues, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo's one of them, and I mean they still have had some key injuries to Dawson Knox and some of their key guys, but they've all had 30 or more players that have been active in all of their games this year. So that just shows you the difference, and that leads me into the Ryan Tannehill topic and the Ryan Tannehill discussion, because that's my argument,
right?
And I remember Cosell coming on last week talking about he has no idea what Ryan Tannehill was looking at on one of those plays, and talking about kind of the issues within Ryan Tannehill's game. But my thought, because Brent sat here and said, well, I think he basically has the yips.
Right.
Because of the pressure he's felt all year, and, that's affecting him still.
Right.
Because I'm like, he had plenty of time. But he didn't have enough time when he has inexperienced wide receivers out there who maybe aren't separating, aren't getting open, aren't helping him out, aren't in the right place, aren't running routes where, he expects them to be. So my take is Ryan Tannehill doesn't have the yips, and it's not on Ryan Tannehill. I mean, I get it. There have been some throws that are awful. Like, you can't make that throw, right? I get it. But I think it's because of what he has around him. I think he's pressing. I think he doesn't have enough time for his playmakers to make a play. And so that's forcing him into bad decisions. So that's where I'm putting it. And it's probably a mix.
Right.
But I'm not on and I said this last week, I will die on it's not on Ryan Tannehill hill.
Yes, you did.
And there's a lot of people that say I'm crazy.
And you know what, Babs? I ain't gonna say you crazy. I just say when you start to miss parts that were able to keep you afloat, minus Derrick Henry, this starts to be magnified.
Right.
So when the defense all of a sudden can't get the pass rush to the quarterback, you can't get Kevin Byard picking off interceptions and taking them to the house. You're not getting off the field in a timely fashion, or you're letting them drive all the way down, and you're bending but not breaking. Now these teams are starting to get into the end zone. Now it's like, oh, no, wait a minute, hold on. Something ain't right. And then you look around, and it's like, oh, let's go to the highest paid man on the team. This the guy that's important, more important than anybody else. Why can't you get us over the hump? So now all of this light comes on, and then all of a sudden he loses not 1, not 2, but 3 of his first 3 targets, because I'm going to put Josh Reynolds as the number 3 guy. That's what he was brought in to be. Actually brought in to be the number 2 guy.
He never did it.
Yeah, so now he's gone.
Yeah.
Now Julio is nursing a hamstring. Now AJ is gone. I mean, NWI, Westbrook-Akina is his only option. So I'm with
Cody Hollister.
Yeah, and Hollister. And then you got your security blanket in Ferkser, who still hasn't.
Who isn't what we thought he was going to be this year.
Okay. See, these are bigger problems to me than it is Tannehill, but that's the easiest finger pointing that you can do is go to Tannehill. Like the quarterback, Coach Mack said it. I don't know if this was on air or off air, but I'm going to share this, Coach Mack. I hope you don't get mad at me. But the quarterbacks get all of the praise when the team is winning and running off, just like when Derrick Henry was doing his thing. It was still, man, but Tannehill's doing this and that. But it was Derrick Henry's team. When the loss happens to, they just get it's just as much praise and finger pointing and blame and everything else. Part of it. Got to be able to accept it. So now you have that. What are you going to do? What do you do coming out of this for these next 5 games? Because honestly, not until, 3 games in maybe, coming out of this, will we see, hopefully, minus Derrick Henry, a full roster again. I mean, we just can't see that coming down. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oof.
and that's a big maybe. Like, I mean, what do you do? Like, what do you change? To me now, because I remember in week 4, was it after Seattle? So that might have been week 2 or 3? We started giving praise to Downey and Bowen and saying, man, these guys are really scheming up some things. Now we need you to come to the forefront. Come save your guy. Tannehill, he's not that. He is who he is.
See, that's the other thing. Everybody that's and Hunk, I'm gonna call you out here on our group text too with your so is Tannehill the guy to lead the Titans to a Super Bowl? I'm like, well, who else?
Well, and the reason why I asked the question is because when you go back through history and you see teams that are making it to conference championships or, the actual championship game, they're one player away. The Boston Red Sox had to trade Nomar Garciaparra just to get the team to win in 2004. You saw the Chiefs, whenever they made it to the AFC championship game against the Patriots, they fired their defensive coordinator, and the next year they made it and won the Super Bowl. So there's always like that one player. Is Ryan Tannehill the guy that, as of right now, if everybody's healthy, with him, you can win the Super Bowl this year?
No, it's Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy that can carry you. Like,
but
everybody else can manage you. Their defense can carry you. Intact defense, I believe, can help carry him. Now, can one guy outside of a guy like Derrick Henry who can shoulder the load? I don't think so.
And you talk about he is what he is, right? Ryan Tannehill is that. We've
right
never sat here exactly. We've never sat here and said he's a top 5 quarterback in the league.
No.
Now his numbers have been top 10
The
in the
mayor
league.
will bring that up quick.
Yes, and they have, but never. I don't think never has Titans fans sat here and said, "Oh, Ryan Tannehill is the real deal." He's not.
Right.
And he's not, in my mind, he's not a quarterback that is good enough to help you overcome all of these injuries.
Right.
He just isn't that, and nobody expected him to be that, and nobody thought he could be that. Now, the other side of that argument is, okay, but you pay him like that.
This is true, but that's the market. That's the market that's set for quarterbacks. That's why people will get mad, and you see what baseball is going through. Baseball in a lockout now. We failed to mention that. Honk, that's your department.
That's your sport,
Come
Honk.
on, Honk.
What's going on?
Have you guys not been listening to my top of the hour updates? I've mentioned it every time.
No,
you
we
didn't
don't
even-
listen
no.
to it.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No,
yes,
but
lockout.
Are you crying when you mention it?
No, I knew this was going to happen. It was
Okay.
it was all designed. They were going to go into a lockout. The only way they would not have went into a lockout is if they had a deal almost a week to 2 weeks ago. And so this is all part of it. This is all part of the plan. They most likely the Major League Baseball will not have a deal until either the end of January or around the middle of February.
now what we want to happen is you can interact with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch
Twitch, please.
by getting on Zone TV and let us know your thoughts. And you also got 615-737-1045. I say all that to say that's why you get mad at people when they take less money or they restructure contracts, because you mess up you mess up everything that's supposed to take place after.
The
If
market?
the market. If the top guy doesn't take the top dollar, then the guy behind him can't get top dollar, regardless if you're worth it or not.
Shoot, this is a big conversation right now in college football head coaching.
There you go. Exactly. And you said something. We got to get into that today too. But
just keeps jumping up.
so
And then the buyouts just keep jumping
it's
up.
amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, my God.
You almost
in
pay
the
more to
next sec-
lose and get out than it is to stay and win.
Seriously. Like, we're all in the wrong business.
Right.
You need to go be a highly sought-after college football coach, go suck for a year or two,
Yeah.
and then be set for life.
Yeah. So Tannehill is not the guy to take you on the shoulders
By himself.
by himself and carry it with no-name guys running routes. Now, with pieces all around, come on, man, sign me up and put them on board. Put them on board. Part of it. What do the people think? Do you guys think by any stretch of the imagination, Tannehill can help carry this team through the playoffs. Because Lord.
They're in a good position.
They're in a good position,
the
and the player that you can compare him to is Alex Smith. Alex Smith was getting the Chiefs to the playoffs. He was getting past the first round, but then it was Mahomes that changed the offense, and they let go of Alex Smith for somebody different that changed the offense to get them over the hump as well.
They needed an over the hump guy.
So that's the only reason I'm asking the question. I'm not saying that Tannehill is. I'm just asking the question: is Ryan Tannehill the Titans' version of Alex Smith?
So I could agree with that a little bit, Hunk. I think the only reason Alex Smith became Alex Smith is because they drafted Patrick Mahomes. Because remember, he was sitting behind Alex Smith. And everybody on their team was like, hey, man, y'all got to see. I mean, it was quiet, but they telling reporters, man, y'all got to see this dude throw. Like, he can spin it. So at some point, man, that guy was going to take off. Now, I think if Logan Woodside was the guy sitting back there, Don's boy, maybe he could spin it. I think he would be in. But it's like what Bab said, if not him, then who? Because there ain't no other options. No. So I think the only thing really that can change, is the game plan. We still haven't adjusted from the game plan. We went back, in a sense, to Arthur Smith's game plan, right? Run the ball, play action, all of that thing. Remember, he was getting cute early in the season, went back and ran off a winning streak with kind of the blueprint that Arthur Smith left. And now, I mean, you ain't got that guy back there to play fake too. Maybe it picks up coming out of the bye week as far as running. You did run the ball good against New England.
Nick Westbrook-Akina has been your leading receiver the last 2 weeks.
Now, see, with that being said, I mean,
that's my take on all of it.
What you want me to say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I don't necessarily understand the Tannehill finger pointing.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah.
If you're one of those Tannehill finger pointers, that sounds bad, right? It sounds like I'm attacking you. I'm not.
It does.
I just want to hear from you.
Yeah. Okay. And
tell me why.
And they're saying in the zone chat, yes, Tannehill can do it. The turnovers have to stop, though.
Turnovers have got to stop.
And then,
I'm watching high school football. CPA turns the ball over right before the half. They score. And then get the ball coming out the second. I mean, that's coming out the second half. That's a 14-point swing. You can't turn the ball over.
And guess what, Babs?
And win football games.
No, and guess what? That's the game. That's the game.
That's the game.
I promise you, nobody in the NFL wants their quarterback to turn it over. But guess what? It's a defense designed to help you turn it over. Or called, like Coach Mack said yesterday, it's called takeaways. Like, yeah, he's throwing it away, but the defense is taking it away also. So, got to put a halt to that, man, and hopefully get your defense back. I think a lot of this will be patched up if this defense comes back healthy. Can't wait to talk about Cosell. Well, Cosell already mentioned. A guy like Denico Autry being inside and being outside is a huge difference.
Huge.
So, that's part of it.
All right, we got callers. 615-737-1045 is the number here on 3HL. Before we go to break, we will go ahead and jump in. Hey, Hunk, let's go with Bam. Bam on the line. Hey, Bam.
Hey, what's good, John? Slay, what's up, boy? You in the building?
What up, Bam? I'm in the building.
Hey, man,
they're going to put me out the building.
I'm going to say this about Tannehill. I think if you take any NFL quarterback's toys away, as you would want to call them, if you take Tyreek Hill away and Travis Kelce away from Patrick Mahomes, you'll see a difference in anybody. Because Tannehill literally has nobody right now. And then you don't know how that affects him mentally. You don't know how it affects him. Like, he knows all the pressure that's on him. He ain't got Derrick Henry. He literally don't have anybody out there. Like, the guys that he's built the relationships with, the times with, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's had 2 years with AJ. I'm pretty sure him and Julio was working together before the season, you know. So, and to be honest with you, when you said something about Anthony Ferguson, Jonnu Smith was a cover-up for Anthony Ferguson. Anthony Ferguson just looked good because Jonnu Smith was there, honestly. So that's why the pressure on him is just like, he's what, you know what I'm saying? He's really what it is that, you know, we thought that he was, which was a whole bunch of nothing. But all the way around when it comes to Tannehill can take you to the playoffs. Tannehill can, with his options. If you have AJ Julio, and if they keep Golden Tate, if they can work that out between that receiving core, I think you'll see a different Ryan Tannehill. You'll see a more effective Ryan Tannehill, a more comfortable Ryan Tannehill, and then he could be more mobile as well too. So, that's just my opinion on it. If I'm wrong, I'm definitely listening to where I'm wrong at. But help me out on that one.
That.
I like it. Yeah, and you mentioned taking away the toys. We saw it with Kansas City, at least with an offensive line that struggled, and you saw Mahomes struggle early on. So that's a great point. And this is the thing too. I feel like we talk all the time about Ryan Tannehill and his game-winning drives and how he handles that pressure and all of that. But we haven't seen him up until this point because, let's be honest, this is uncharted territory for any NFL team with this many injuries and this many key guys on IR. But we haven't seen Tannehill in this situation. If you're a Miami fan, you might have seen glimpses of that, and it probably wasn't pretty.
Right.
But as far as a Titans fan, you haven't seen Ryan Tannehill have to deal with so many of his toys, his weapons gone. And where does that put him mentally, especially when early on this offensive line was just revolving door?
Yes.
And so you add that on the fact that now he knows, man, I'm trying to hold on to the ball just a millisecond longer to see if my guy can separate and get open, to see if he ends up in the right spot. And what does that do to him mentally as a quarterback? Well, ask Greg Cosell if he can see any of that, if the film shows any of that in Ryan Tannehill, just the hesitation, maybe holding on to the ball a little bit too long, or clearly making some poor decisions, causing some interceptions there. So, but good call, Bam. If you're on the line, we'll get you right after this break. AJ, cornbread. Stick around. 615-737-1045. This is 3HL and 1045 The Zone. I'm going to tell you who the big dog is when it comes to relaxation and gifts. That would be a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. You want to hit a home run when you're talking about a holiday gift for your significant other or a lady in your life? A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. Trust me, I've seen it. People in my neighborhood have bought it for their wives, girlfriends, moms, sisters, and it's a huge hit. Always a hit. And here's the deal. You can choose from 10 different services all under one roof at a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. So you're talking massages, manicures and pedicures, sunless tanning. They have waxing, facials, other skincare options, a full hair salon there as well. Makeup, there's unique gifts in their front lobby. We've spent some time there. We're going to be live there, actually, I think next week. So you can come out and check it out. And if you don't know what service at a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa to gift to somebody, no problem. Everybody loves spa gifts, and gift cards are available 24/7 on their website. That website, amomentspeace.com, amomentspeace.com, or you can always call them 615-224-0770 if you have any questions or special requests. Stop by for personal service. It's in Cool Springs across Interstate 65 from Galleria Mall, the intersection of Carruthers Parkway and Bakersbridge Avenue. That's a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa.
Football Scoreboard Update. Presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office on 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica. Donaldson Christian Academy leads Nashville Christian 21-0 in the third quarter of the D1 Single A State Championship in Chattanooga as Bradford Gaines connects with Dayton Sneed a 58-yard touchdown to make it a 3-score lead for DCA. Earlier today, D2 AA action. Lipscomb Academy claimed their fourth state title, a 27-0 win over CPA, and the nightcap tonight, a 6 o'clock kickoff in D2 AAA between MBA and McCauley. Designated drivers are the real MVP. If you've been drinking, pass your keys to a sober friend. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Really, Hunk? Really?
What? I'm jamming. You don't see me dancing?
That's the song you're going to bring us back into the show with?
Yeah.
I'm in love with a stripper?
No, you know the reason I played that is because when I had my cell phone with T-Mobile, that was my ringtone. Not even joking. I'm not even joking.
Ooh.
Give him a break, Tori.
No, according to my wife, I never dated anybody before her.
Oh, okay.
I believe it.
Great.
So nothing in my life I've ever done before her ever counts.
That's right.
So
The quicker you understand that, the better off you are.
Yep, there's a lot of places in the world I have not seen because it all happened before her. So now I've got to take her to go see them. I didn't visit Nashville for the first time until 2014, according to her.
How does that work? All right, we are live at T-Mobile. You heard Hunk mention T-Mobile, and here's the deal. Holidays are for being together, and T-Mobile wants to celebrate the holidays with you. So join us here. We're at 3800 Hillsboro, Pike, right across from the Mall of Green Hills, and we're here until 6. We've got about 10 more minutes of Pie Town Tacos serving food. So you got 10 minutes to get some tacos here at the store. Tomorrow, we will also be live here. Blaine and Mickey are live here, and then we will follow them. The mayor will be back, and Daddy's Dogs will be serving lunch from 1 to 4 here at T-Mobile on Friday. So come see us, check it out, walk in the store, say hi. We would love to see you if you're on your way home. You know this Green Hills traffic is a nightmare. You might as well pull off and say hi on your way home.
I promise you're not going to lose a spot. You may get behind 2 or 3 cars.
That's right.
In 20 minutes.
Yes. All right. We are talking Titans. Let's hit the phones again. 615-737-1045. We'll go to Cornbread, who wants to talk about this, weigh in on this Tannehill conversation. Hi, Cornbread.
Who's going to eat your cornbread?
Well, hey, Dawn and Ron. I'm in Sports Talk Royalty with Queen Davenport and Kingsley. Dawn, let me just tell you right now, as a sideline reporter, Michelle Tafoya's got nothing on you.
That's right.
I love watching your show when you do it. It's awesome. Now, what I do want to talk about is, growing up in Tennessee, we did not have a football team when I was young. Mm-hmm. So I pulled from the team where my mom's from, and I pulled from the New Orleans Saints. I'm a lifetime Saints fan.
Gotcha.
What y'all got going on here, the issues, as far as with Tannehill, is nothing compared to what my team is dealing with. Y'all still have a top-notch rate quarterback. Your backup quarterback could start for New Orleans. We have 0 at quarterback. What our GM screwed up was not bringing somebody in a year or 2 before Breeze retired to apprentice and learn under Drew. Instead, you brought in one guy who completed more passes to New Orleans than he did to Tampa when he played for Tampa. Everybody else,
Jameis Winston, by the way.
I mean, when Jameis Winston is your number one option, you've got problems, serious problems. And they've still got weapons and have nobody to distribute the ball to them. I mean, the Titans throttled Trevor Siemian with second and third string defensive players. So I mean, the situation at Titans, it's not all doom and gloom, bro.
Cornbread, y'all got the Swiss Army knife. Taysom Hill, baby.
That's right. He's about to start versus the Cowboys.
Yeah,
about to see what
he can run the ball. He can run the ball, and he's a diverse athlete, but he is not a quarterback, man. I mean, he couldn't hit the broadside of a ball with a nuclear weapon and a guided missile laser to get it there.
He's Tebow 2.0.
I agree.
Oh, no,
agree,
he's
Cornbread.
not. He is not Tebow 2.0.
I don't even think he can throw like Tebow.
No.
No, because he's not left-handed. But but you know, I mean, it is what it is. The Titans, you know, it's just Tannehill's having to force the ball into places where he probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
He is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. I mean, he can put the ball in some tight windows, but if you don't have weapons who can actually snatch it out of the air, go up and get 75% of those 50-50 balls, or make sure the other 25% of them are at least knocked down, you know, he doesn't have that now. I mean, I like Chester Rogers, but he is not a Julio Jones or an A.J. Brown. You know, he's not – I don't think he's even the young man that they just signed on from Nashville.
Oh,
even Josh Reynolds, for that matter. You know, he's not a Golden Tate. It's
right. Golden Tate.
You know, and the young man that's a rookie that they drafted in the 4th round, he just got to get some schooling, man. Hey, he's got talent, potential. He just got to get some schooling and learn. You know, no rookie receiver comes in very often and dominates in the NFL. It's very seldom that happens.
Well, and
you know, so the Titans are a lot better shape than where my team's at.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Greg.
It'll be interesting to see what Taysom Hill does. No setbacks. So, yeah, he's going to start against the Cowboys for the Saints. So, good luck for that.
Yeah, you know what? I said 3 weeks ago, like, the problem that could be, too, man, when you don't have your weapons, a lot of those times you got to put it in those small, tight windows, man. The cornerbacks are right there. So, that little small – he missed the Jets game, second half of the Jets game, A.J. Brown, I believe. And – the little bit of separation that we saw the next week that he was making, whether it be a half a yard, that's all a good quarterback needs, and that's what he got. Now with him not even being able to get that half a yard, it's not even getting in arm's length distance away from the cornerback. That's a hard window to put in every single time. Now, that can happen periodically, maybe the majority of the time, but not every single time, and that's what you need right now with a guy like Derrick Henry.
I had somebody on Twitter who – basically said, you're wrong on Tannehill. Look at his numbers. And you're not wrong. His numbers are awful. I get it. 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. His QBR right now is 53.4.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No.
I get it.
Right.
But my point is that it's not on him. It's not all on him.
Not all of it.
Right.
Is what you're saying. Not all of that is on him. And I want to shift it from Tannehill to Downey. Like I need to see what can be done to adapt your scheme to the guys you have. Now, granted, that can't happen with the turnstile of guys coming in and out. Like, it's going to be difficult for that to happen.
Well, because I'll say this, what you're talking about, you're talking about Tannehill comfortable with Downing and what he does and how he calls an offense and his offensive philosophy and how it's different from Arthur Smith and all that.
Right.
Now, my argument would be at this point in the season, you sure as hell better be on the same page by now.
Yeah.
But your point is that
it's something.
It's different guys that you're dealing with.
Right.
So it's hard to find that chemistry and that rhythm, not necessarily between Downing and Tannehill, but because
maybe
you have different weapons.
Right. If you had Downey and AJ and Julio, then it's easier to tweak a scheme.
Right.
But you ain't even got them. So I'm saying when those guys get back, how do you get it? Because remember early in the season, we started to see Michael Pruitt a little more. We started to see, but now we don't even see Swaim no more. Ferkser is in the bathroom, and nobody told him to come out. The game started yet. Like, I don't know what's going on, man. Like, we need to see a couple of
Why are you putting Ferkser in the bathroom?
Because we like Jonu's gone, man. Get out of there. Get out of that bathroom. You got to come play. Can't use it. Get out the blue tent or something. Like, I don't know where he is what I'm actually saying. I would like to see him.
I want to hit on Mac Jones' numbers. We'll do that after the break and just what he's doing in this rookie season because it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Ridiculous. And we'll ask Greg Cosell about it, too, since the Titans just saw him. Greg Cosell coming up at 4:20 here on 3HL. Quick break. We'll be back to start the 4 o'clock hour live from T-Mobile in Green Hills, right across from the Green Hills Mall, 3800 Hillsboro. Pike, come say hi to us.
What up, people? You know who it is. It's me, Ron Slay, here to talk to you about going and getting a very nice selection of wine. Maybe go get a nice whiskey, any spirit, any craft beer. Where can you go and get it? Yep. People looking around. That's Red Dog Wine and Spirits, people. When you go in there, you tell them I sent you. Franklin, Tennessee favorite. Over 20-plus years. Telling you get anything and everything that you are looking for. You also get to try before you buy. The most popular brands and the newest products available. Now, something I would tell you to go and try, that is the taste bottle of the week, Wheeler's Raid Honey Finished Bourbon Red Dog Single Barrel. It's made in Nolensville, distilled in Indiana. 105 proof. Go in there and try it. $79.99 a bottle. The bourbon is finished with a honey cask using its own in-house developed honey cask process. I'm telling you, man, you can't get no better, and you get to try that before you buy it. You don't like it, you don't have to get it. They'll point you in the right direction. Go where I go, Red Dog Wine and Spirits, Riverside Drive in Franklin, Tennessee, next to Publix off Highway 96. When you go in there, tell them, I'm in the building. Red Dog got you. What up, people? You know who it is. It's me, Ron Slay, and I'm here to talk to you about Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. I'm going to say this quite frequently. Get the 5-minute loan approval, only available at the HomeLoanExpert.com. That's first and foremost. But you're thinking about refining your home, it's getting around the holidays, need to take a couple dollars out, maybe a lot of dollars out, in order to get these gifts and make everybody have a good Christmas. Maybe you're in the giving mood. Home Loan Expert is too. Mortgage interest rates are still sitting at all-time low levels, but they are starting to tick up. So if you've been sitting on the fence to get a refi, or if you haven't gotten your pre-approved home loan locked in, now is the time. Quit waiting for a lower rate, as they won't stick around much longer. I'm telling you now, interest rates are still sitting in the low 2%, which means by refinancing over 30-year mortgage, the Home Loan Expert can save you hundreds of dollars a month. It's that simple. Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. Get the 5-minute loan approval, only available at the HomeLoanExpert.com. I'm going to say it one more time. Get the 5-minute loan approval, only available at the HomeLoanExpert.com. Holler at Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com.
Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk, and high school football going on right now in Chattanooga. Earlier today, we had the Division II AA championship game. Lipscomb Academy defeated CPA 27-0. Going on right now in Chattanooga, the Division II 1A championship, where Donaldson is up 24-0 on Nashville Christian. And just to see if Ron and Don are paying attention, Major League Baseball went on a lockout last night at 11 p.m. Central Time. What does this mean? It means that now no players can use any Major League Baseball facilities or physicians or anything like that. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL out at T-Mobile. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back to 3XL, people. Y'all need to slide through and listen to, not only listen to us, but stop in to see us. We're live from T-Mobile today, 3800 Hillsboro Pike. We would love to see you. We would love to conversate, give you a fist pound, keep everything moving. You know, traffic is picking up, so what better place to come through and stop and see? T-Mobile, get your phone. Join Team Galaxy with me. You know, all the Droid users out there, power to the people. We don't need these iPhone people. I mean, you can slide through and get one of them too, but nobody will really care. You know, I won't. But if
you want to piss off all your iPhone friends, be Ron Slay.
Hey, that's Don Davenport, people. You know,
are you the only one in our entire station thread, or is there somebody else?
I think I'm the only one. I'm holding it down.
Is Blaine?
I think Blaine's iPhone.
Blaine's iPhone? Okay.
I think.
I thought there might be somebody else.
I think I'm the only one holding us down.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm the realest one here. I'm the loner.
The realist.
Just Don Davenport, people. Joe Hunk is behind the glass. You know who I am. I am Ron Slay. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. 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 I'm in the building.
I just got confirmation.
What, Babs?
From Lucas.
What?
That Blaine is not on an iPhone.
That's what's up.
So it's you and Blaine that are a pain in our butts.
I mean, sometimes, man, you got to do what you got to do.
Turning it all green.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do out here, man. Sometimes you just do.
We're not going to make fun of him, though, because we've seen him hit a quarterback.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Also, y'all just going to clown me. Y'all see me dunk a ball.
That's not as terrifying as a guy coming over the middle.
Your nickname is not the Hitman.
Well, ask the guy from Georgia. I put him on a poster. I bet he thinks it's a little bit.
Did you watch a Carolina game last night?
No, I didn't. I was watching
good atmosphere.
Georgia and Memphis. Memphis ranked, went into Georgia and got beat.
Down. Do you know what was trending on Twitter?
What?
Penny can't coach.
Yes. Hey.
Penny can't coach. Trending on Twitter.
I don't know what they want to do about that, but boy, that ain't no good look. That is not a good look. So they got to see us December 18th. That's for sure. And when I say see us, I mean the Tennessee Vols. They play them at Bridgestone at a neutral site.
What happened to Memphis? Did you watch that whole game?
Yes, I did.
Because George, I love Tom.
Yeah, Tom
Crean.
Mm-hmm.
Love everything they're building there, but they're not good.
No, they're not.
I mean, they're one of the worst teams in the SEC.
You are exactly right. I think they're supposed to finish lower than Vanderbilt. And I'm not knocking y'all, Vandy. I'm just saying.
Right.
But I would pick.
There's no reason Memphis should lose.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
but I will say, especially with the assist leader in the SEC, Severe Wheeler, going to Kentucky. He went in the transfer portal. Then Christian Brown, who's over at Tennessee State now, they lost him as well. Memphis has literally, if the draft were to happen tomorrow, 2 top 5 picks. Hands down, there's no question about it. Whether it's on potential, how good they are, whatever. They went down to Georgia and they lost. So figure that out. I don't know. But I will say, Jalen Duran is a man in the middle. Imani Bates, a little overhyped to me. A little overhyped. Was the number one guy coming out of his class, reclassified, went to Memphis, was the prize pick for Penny getting in this year to give them the number one class. Not sure he's that guy, especially at the point guard spot. We'll get into that deeper as it gets closer.
Yes.
But, yeah.
As we jump into college basketball a little more. Yes, the mayor you have heard is off. He was in Chattanooga for the TSSAA state championship. You're hearing some updates throughout our show. So congrats to all those kids and families from our area who are playing in state title games. Nothing better than that. Nothing cooler. Nothing cooler than hoisting a gold ball trophy, that's for sure.
Listen, I've been able to do it twice, Babs. Love it.
You won 2 state titles in high school?
Yeah, Pearl Cone.
Nice.
Back-to-back state championships, yeah.
Junior, senior year for you? Or
no,
when was
sophomore,
it?
junior year.
Sophomore, junior.
Yep.
Okay.
Junior year, I was out with a wrist broken, so I didn't really contribute to that team.
That's all right.
I did in the
Still got the
preseason,
ring.
though. But, you know what I mean. So, but I will say it's nothing like it, man. You'll be able to look back on this, and I promise you memories for life. Even just getting there, the journey to get there. So don't feel feel disappointed because you lost. But you'll always remember that journey with your brothers, man.
No doubt. Greg Cosell is going to be our guest coming up next. We will break down the Patriots-Titans game, what he saw from Ryan Tannehill there. I want to get his take on Mac Jones, too, and some of the numbers that we're seeing in his rookie season. 6 straight wins, of course. That's the obvious talk, which is the 4th most for a rookie quarterback since 1970. 6 games with 100-plus passer rating. Mac Jones.
Yeah.
With the Pats.
With the same weapons that Cam said he didn't have to throw to last year.
8 games with 70% plus completion percentage, which is the most in the NFL this season.
Wow.
So there's some Mac Jones numbers for you. We'll have Greg Cosell break that down. On Twitter, we are talking about Ryan Tannehill. What is going wrong for Ryan Tannehill? What does the tape show? Greg Cosell will tell us that as well. Tim Hancock on Twitter, I agree it's not all on number 17, but in this situation, he needs to elevate his game. He hasn't even come close to doing that. I'm with Brent Doherty. He has the yips. That is a conversation because the great ones elevate their game when those around them are injured, are gone, when their playmakers have stepped away. And you've seen it from Tom Brady year after year. Obviously, you can't compare Ryan Tannehill to Tom Brady. You can't compare a whole lot of people to Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. You just can't.
Yes.
But that's a legit point. That, hey, if you're the guy, you have to step up.
It's going to be interesting.
At that point. Breaking news, more coaching carousel news.
Oh, here we go, Jim.
Here we go, Jim.
Here we go, Jim.
Yep. So there's another opening. Virginia's Bronco Mendenhall has resigned as Cavaliers coach following their bowl game. That coming from Brett McMurphy, the real Brett McMurphy.
It's a little check by him.
There's a little check by it, but that is a surprise.
What's
going on there? I mean, because you look at what he's built there. I've worked 2 Virginia games this year, so I've got to see it up close and personal. You look at that quarterback and what he's done, and if he was healthy, he would have been a legit Heisman candidate, no questions asked. And that kid on the sideline, from a leadership standpoint, is one of the best that I have ever seen in 10 years of wandering the sidelines for ESPN. He is next level. I mean, that kid apologized to his team when he basically broke his ribs at BYU because he was no longer available for them in that game.
Amazing.
Like, before he went to the locker room, apologized to his teammates.
Y'all.
I should have gone down. I shouldn't have tried to fight for more yards. I'm sorry. I'm not able to be out here with you. Then to the locker room, proceeded to miss 3 weeks because of alleged broken ribs. Right. So leadership and that, I mean, recruiting wise, they felt like they've been in a great place. Virginia has. So that's interesting. So yeah, Bronco Mendenhall announcing at Virginia he's going to step down from his position following the team's bowl game. multiple reports on that too. Now Brett McMurphy reporting that, Brandon Marcello also reporting that, and that's a wow. And we are continuing to see some wow things. There's obviously got to be more to this situation, but we'll keep an eye on it. Didn't see that one coming.
No.
Definitely didn't see that one coming. All right, time for a break. Greg Cosell is next. Yes, we will check in. What does the tape tell us on the Tennessee Titans from last week? Greg Cosell coming up next on 3HL.
Buddy Allen Carpet 1. Is your bathroom overdue for a major overhaul when it comes to beautiful bathroom renovations? The experts at Buddy Allen have got you and your family covered. Whether you're seeking a simple update like a small sink backsplash or a top-to-bottom revamp, they will have the product skills and experts to make your vision a reality. Locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years, Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen are in the store every day. Check them out in Donaldson, 2405 Lebanon Pike. Give them a call, 615-883-3289, or check them out online, BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
Now, a high school football scoreboard update. Presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office on 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica. Early fourth quarter in the D2 Single A State Championship game in Chattanooga. DCA all over Nashville Christian, 31-7. At the end of the third quarter, a 91-yard kickoff return by Jacob Cook extended the DCA lead. They are 12 minutes away from a state title. Earlier today, D2 AA was Lipscomb Academy 27-0, defeating CPA. Mustangs win their fourth state championship. And tonight, a 6 p.m. Central kickoff from Finley Stadium in Chattanooga, the D2 AAA championship between MBA and McCauley. Drunk driving is the ultimate form of unsportsmanlike conduct. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Welcome back in 3HL and 104.5 The Zone here on this Thursday. And you know what that means. We get one of the smartest mans in the NFL to join us. Executive producer, analyst, NFL matchup, senior producer at NFL Films. That's Greg Cosell to break down what the film shows us. Cosell, how are you?
Hi, Dawn. How are you? Hi, Ron.
Hey, Greg.
I'm good. Let me tell you this. Titans fans are very excited that there's a bye week, and so is that team. I had a feeling you're watching film on guys that you did not expect to be watching tape on for this Titans roster, huh?
Probably, yeah, on the offensive side of the ball in particular, yes.
Yeah, no doubt. So the big talk with everybody is obviously Ryan Tannehill. But before we jump into that and really dive in on what the tape shows about his performance right now, I want to hit on Mac Jones and what he's been able to do lately. 6 straight wins, 6 games with 100-plus passer rating, 8 games with 70% plus completion percentage. I mean, the numbers are impressive in his rookie season at this point. Where has the switch kind of flipped for him that you've seen?
Well, I don't think the switch has slipped. And by the way, Dawn, he did not have a very good game this past week. He didn't throw the ball as well as we have seen him. He missed some opportunities, and there were some plays where he didn't see it particularly clearly. So the numbers might have looked good if you saw it on a sheet of paper, but he did not have a really good game this week. The other important point to make here is this is a run-first team. This is a physical offense that starts with the run game, and he works off of that. And they play to what he is. He gets the ball out quick. He sees it quick. And that's how they play. So he's played at a very high level for the most part, given how they've chosen to play. But this offense starts with the run game.
Well, the Titans offense used to start with the run game, too, when they had that Derrick Henry guy out there.
Well, that's what they want. If you want to transfer over here and transition to the Titans, their game plan approach clearly this past week was to run the ball from base personnel groupings, control the pace and tempo of the game, shorten the game, and ideally score touchdowns in the red zone. That was the plan. To some degree, it worked. They did run the ball well, but turnovers and the total inability to create any big plays in the passing game hurt them. And it's hard just to win running the ball without any concurrent ability to make plays in the pass game, even if you have Derrick Henry. Of course, what makes Henry different is he can run for 60-yard touchdowns. Yeah. But
he gives you those explosives, right?
Yeah, he gives you those. But the plan itself at times worked. It's just, then we can get into Tannehill if you want, because he missed some things in this game that ideally you have to hit. When you don't get as many opportunities, the ones you do, you have to hit. And he missed a couple.
And do you see a difference in that? Just compiling yards, both running backs, if they're able to get into the end zone in the red zone. I think that played a big factor too. If they get in the end zone once or two more times, then it's a different ball game. But them being still at the end in the red zone and not being able to get in the box, that was tough.
Yeah, and also you had the fumble by Foreman after a 30-yard gain. Hilliard had a fumble. Obviously, you had the end zone interception on 4th and goal in the fourth quarter, which would have made, and it was early in the fourth quarter, it would have made it a one-score game if they had scored a touchdown. And obviously, that was 4th down, so they had 3 shots prior to that. And on 4th down, they ran. Dawn, did you know what they ran on 4th down? It's a very famous play.
What's that?
They ran Spider 2 Y Banana on 4th down.
Oh,
Spider 2 Y Banana.
Should have called that.
And
we've talked about that before too.
Yeah. Everybody has it in their playbook. It's a famous, it's a well-known tight red zone play. And McCourty just made a great play. Tannehill did not account for McCourty, who settled into an open void. He just saw Hollister running the back line of the end zone, and he was open. But McCourty just settled into an open void, and he was in position to tip the pass. But so if they had scored there, I believe that would have made it 26-19 or 26-20 perhaps with an extra point. So yes, and that was early in the fourth quarter. But so turnovers clearly hurt them. You can't really say the game plan was incorrect because what they put out on the field in terms of receivers. I mean, their top 3 receivers were Westbrook-Ikhine, Hollister, and Rogers. And Fitzpatrick got some snaps as well, and actually caught a ball in which he ran a really, really good route. But, that's the receiving group that they're putting out there right now.
So let's talk about that because you mentioned Tannehill missing some things. And specifically, I know it's hard to pinpoint when you're not in there and you're not breaking down film with them personally, but there's
a couple of plays that are specific that he needed to hit.
Okay, let's talk about why he didn't hit those then. Let's kind of go through his struggles.
I mean, in the second quarter, there was a missed opportunity on 3rd and 4 from the plus 26-yard line when Rogers from number 3 in a bunch formation ran a stutter fade and got on top of Bryant, and Tannehill put the ball too far outside, and what could have been a touchdown was an incomplete pass. That's a throw you got to make. Now, again, it's very possible that they could say that Rogers, didn't do the right. I don't know. There's always tweaks and details, but the bottom line is that's a play you have to make when you get a receiver wide open. On 3rd down like that on a stutter fade, that throw's got to be made. There was another one on the second possession of the third quarter, which seemed like a nothing play at the time. Maybe it was deeper in their own territory. He had Hollister on an out cut on 3rd and 5, and Hollister beat Mills, but Tannehill left the ball too far inside. And it allowed Mills to make a play on the ball. Would have been, a 7 or 8 yard gain, but it was 3rd and 5, and it would have been a first down, and it would have kept a drive alive. So, he only threw 21 balls. So when you only throw 21 balls, you don't get as many opportunities. But the ones that are clearly there to be made, you've got to make. And of course, the longest play of the game was 24 yards on a flea flicker. So they really didn't have, any passing game to speak of.
It's hard to actually see this, I know, on the tape, but with those that he's missed, so Brent and I have this argument. Brent says, I think he has the yips because of, pressure and what he's seen. And we know it's a combination of all of that.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I don't know what he's feeling,
But from a pressure standpoint, what have you seen him have to deal with lately as opposed to maybe early in the season?
Well, let's put it this way. I think he's had to deal with an entire change in number one, offensive personnel, and to some degree, a philosophy. Look, when you have Derrick Henry in the backfield, I mean, there's a lot of comfort there. this was a team that even when they got down, who were they down 24-9 against earlier in the season? Was that Seattle?
Seattle, yep,
Yeah.
on the road.
Yeah. And they came out in the third quarter and ran the ball. How many
Yeah.
teams are going to come out in the third quarter down 24-9 and run the ball as if the score is 0-0? When you have
On the
Derrick
road
Henry-
in Seattle.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you have that, it changes everything about the way you think about the game. And those are the things I can't speak to what's in his head, but he has had to gone through kind of a whole change in how you have to play and how you have to try to win. And I imagine in the middle of a season, that can't be easy. He's been a quarterback that has been able to have that security blanket of Henry and as the foundation of the offense and to work off that, even though they ran the ball well in this particular game against New England. And clearly that was their game plan approach. It's not the same as having Derrick Henry as your back.
Yeah. Now you got Dontrell Hilliard, who
who's looked pretty good, by the way.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you. What was the difference between the Texans game and the Patriots game that you saw from him?
Well, I think Hilliard has some juice to him. I think that he's an effective zone runner. They had success in the run game in two areas in this game. They were effective with outside zone to the left side of the offense. They had some good success, and they were effective with the delayed draw, not only on the long touchdown, but they ran one very effectively in the second half. So those two runs were effective, but Hilliard does have some juice. He's a one-cut downhill runner. He's got short area burst. He has pretty good vision. I mean, he's shown, again, I'm not going to sit here and say what he is other than what his traits are. No one's suggesting he's going to be their feature back going forward. Obviously, he's not. But I think he's got some juice to him. Foreman doesn't have the same kind of juice as Hilliard has.
Adrian Peterson's still getting looks. He made another practice squad.
I saw that. It's I
Head
don't know what to
scratcher?
say to that. I'm just, I was just judging by the tape, when he played those few games for the Titans. He doesn't look to me like he's really an NFL runner just based on tape.
Yeah.
And then that resets the Hall of Fame induction or selection, right, Greg?
Well, it's 5 years after you retire, so I guess now it's 5 years. Assuming, right, it's 5 more years, although, knowing Adrian Peterson, he probably thinks he can play till he's 50, but who knows? Who knows if someone will let him play?
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough position to play that long. Okay, Nick Westbrook-Akine has been the leading receiver for this Titans team the last 2 games. What have you seen from his game, I guess, difference from last week and the week prior?
I mean, that's a hard question. I'm not studying him individually, and I don't think he necessarily jumps off the film. Obviously, he caught the 24-yarder on a flea flicker. It was actually a nice catch. He caught the touchdown, which was a 1-yarder when he rolled into the end zone. I think just seeing him this year, he's got some quickness to him. And this is going to sound like I'm being negative, but I mean, can he end up being a third or fourth receiver on your team? Yes, he can. But he's probably your number 1 receiver right now. And, that's not a position that, he's being asked to do something that's probably not what he's truly capable of being. And I don't think I'm saying anything that anybody else wouldn't say who, follows the game and studies tape.
Greg Cosell is with us, executive producer, analyst, NFL matchup, senior producer of NFL Films. Cosell, let's jump on the other side of the ball. And defensively, we've talked about how good this defense has looked, and felt maybe the game plan was there last week, but maybe just missing a little bit. What was missing defensively that maybe we had seen prior to this game?
Well, I mean, this is a team that has been really good rushing the quarterback, and they couldn't generate any pressure on Jones, but that is a big function of what the Patriots do. I mean, the throws are defined for Jones quickly in his drop, and he gets the ball out. He's a tough guy to sack. Now, they had a couple of sacks. They had one phenomenal sack with Byard on 3rd and 8 in the third quarter,
Yeah.
which came on a really well-disguised triple-A gap pressure. You don't see a lot of triple-A gap pressures these days in the NFL, and Byard did a great job of disguising it because he came from outside the box in man coverage position, and he was the third rusher into the A gap, and there's never a blocker for a third rusher into the A gap. So that was, because it was 3rd and 8, it did require a deeper drop for Mac Jones. But in normal situations, normal type down and distance situations, he's a difficult guy to sack because, like I said, the way they play, the ball gets out quick. And a real positive in Jones' game is you never really see him get stuck in the pocket with nowhere to go with the ball like some quarterbacks do. He just doesn't get stuck. He has an innate feel for, just getting it out, seeing it and getting it out.
Greg, we got Jacksonville coming up after the bye week. Hopefully guys get back healthy, but Jacksonville was a team early in the year that was hanging around with teams and seemed like they were ready to turn the corner, just looking for that one win, and then, it never really came. I mean, the Dolphins, and they shocked the Bills, but is this a team that you would want to see coming off this bye week where you can rest the guys one more time and hopefully get over the hump?
It's the NFL. You can't rest anybody.
Right.
Well, I'm sure if Sean McDermott was listening, he might disagree with you, Ron.
That's true.
Yeah. I think that, let's put it this way. It's a game where the strengths of the Titans should be able to win the game. But, that's, as Dawn said, it is an NFL game, but their O-line is not very good and it's not very athletic. And that's where I think that the Titans really should be able to do some damage. They don't really have a receiving core that really scares you a whole lot. So you're dealing with a rookie quarterback who's talented, but is under far too much duress and doesn't really have a go-to guy when he's under that duress. He doesn't, Marvin Jones is solid, but in an ideal world, Marvin Jones is not a big-time number one. He's been a really good pro. He'll probably play for 12 years, and we'll look back on his career and say, man, that guy was a solid pro, but, he's not that guy.
Anybody jump off the page that could be disruptive to the Titans as far as offensively? Because you want to take this time coming off of this bye week. You put a lot of heat on Downey to try to get Ryan Tannehill in spots where he can, of course, even if he doesn't have his weapons, be able to excel in. So anything like outside of like who for Jacksonville can be disruptive and kind of stall.
Well, if you're talking about the Jacksonville defense,
yeah,
I think the Jacksonville defense has played better in recent weeks. Okay. I think they played better against the run in recent weeks. They've looked faster. They've looked more active. Is it a great defense? No, but, Josh Allen's a good player, number 41. He was a high first-round pick. He's a good player. There have been games this year where I thought Miles Jack looked really quick and explosive, and, of course, he's a great athlete, always has been. So I think their defense is, and I don't know what the numbers say. I'm just going by what the film says. I'm sure the numbers are not great. Right. But I think when you put the tape on, you're going to say that, hey, this is not just a defense we're going to, go right through like a hot knife through butter. It's not one of those situations.
Let me ask you real quick before we let you go too, Greg. Anything different that you're seeing over the entirety of this season from Downey, from the beginning of the season to that 6-game?
Talking about the offensive coordinator?
Yes.
To
his 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot too because it's hard. Then everything has to be schemed, Ron, really schemed. That's the thing. And you can do that sometimes, but the NFL is still a game of matchups. I've talked to so many people over the years, coaches, analysts who do games. Like I remember talking to Chris Spielman when he was an analyst a number of years ago, and I said to him, hey, when you start to prepare for a game, what is the first thing you look at? And the first word out of his mouth was matchups. Yeah. So, if you can't create matchups, let's say in the passing game, you can scheme, but you can only scheme so much. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a man on a man. And, if you can't win those with any degree of consistency, you have to try to work around that. And that's not easy.
And that's where the Titans are right now. Can't create a mismatch to make a guy maybe pay
not in
extra
the past
attention
game.
to. Yeah, pay extra attention to this guy where we can do something over here. Yeah.
You
Not
got
in the
practice
past.
squad guys.
There
I
you
mean,
go. There you go.
yes. All right, Greg Cosell. Hey, speaking of matchups, you need to check out NFL matchup because, Greg, you do a great job on that. Always put it on my TV in my hotel room when I'm on the road. So I always appreciate watching that. Appreciate you, Greg. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We'll
Greg.
chat with you next week before the Jags game. And if you want to see Cosell's work, you can catch him on Twitter at Greg Cosell, senior producer, NFL Films. Certainly appreciate his visits with us again next Thursday as well. Coming up next, we've got Danny Kanell, SEC hater. We'll talk to him right after the break. 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. If you're looking to give the gift of organization this holiday season, Artisan Custom Closets, awesome place to do it. You can do gift cards. You can give the gift of a functional office space. Maybe you want to buy yourself something. Maybe you want to treat yourself and you need a show-stopping, beautiful closet or decluttered garage. I got that last year at Christmas, and it was the greatest gift ever. And Artisan Custom Closets made it easy, came out, took care of it. And it was a great process. I met with Danielle, the design consultant here in Nashville, personalized my space, my garage, to fit everything I wanted. All my Christmas decorations, I needed spots for certain things. She did all of it. First free home consultation, then gave me my 3D plans. It laid out all my options. Then all of my costs were laid out. I had to take a few things in certain places, add a few everywhere, but she made sure that it was exactly what I wanted and it was within my budget. Artisan Custom Closets can do that for you. And they make it easy for you to say less to the mess. Installation took less than a day. ArtisanCustomClosets.com. Say goodbye to clutter. Get your free in-home consultation today. Get this. You tell them Dawn sent you. You get 10% off your project. And they're also offering 12 months, same as cash financing. 10% off your closet. Do it. 615-800-2199. 615-800-2999. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Now, a high school football scoreboard update. Presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office on 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica. Your D2 Single A state champion is Donaldson Christian Academy as the final seconds tick off the clock. Final score, DCA 31, Nashville Christian 7. The Wildcats get it done. Earlier today in D2 AA was Lipscomb Academy beating CPA 27-0 to claim the Mustangs' fourth ever title. Coming up next to close out day 1 of 3 in Chattanooga is D2 AAA. It's MBA and McCauley going head-to-head, a 6 o'clock Central kickoff. There's no need to consult the playbook. The winning strategy is to always designate a sober driver. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back in 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. Dawn Davenport alongside Ron Slay. Brent Doherty is off. Joe Hunk behind the glass for us. And this guy joining us. How appropriate is Ice Ice Baby to lead into Danny Kanell, right? Kanell, what's up? Cool.
Dawn, if you only knew how many times in 8th grade I stood in front of the mirror and tried to do the little dance that Vanilla Ice did. But he was a hurricane, so but it was before I was even thinking about Florida State. So I didn't mind it that much. And by the way, about 5 years ago, I was on a flight from New York to South Florida, and I sat next to Vanilla Ice himself. I got a great picture with him. Really a cool dude. It was pretty funny talking to him. But, yeah, perfectly appropriate, so I appreciate that.
That is amazing. I will say this. When certain people follow you on Twitter, you get excited. Vanilla Ice follows me on Twitter. It's by far the coolest person who follows me on Twitter. Dang right.
I'm so jealous. I tagged him in our photo, and he didn't even follow me. What the heck?
Must be the blonde hair probably helps. Yeah. All right, Danny Kanell coming on courtesy of betonline.net, and we are going to talk some of these championship games and all of that. But first, Kanell, I want to talk about this crazy coaching carousel that is going on right now because, first of all, more breaking news. Virginia's head coach Bronco Mendenhall says he's stepping aside after the bowl game. That just coming out. So yet another opening. But I want your opinion on what surprised you more, Lincoln Riley or the Brian Kelly move to LSU?
I'll say Lincoln Riley. I felt like Lincoln Riley, who was he was the chosen one by Bob Stoops to be his heir apparent and had so many playoff visits. You're at Oklahoma. You kind of own that landscape. Everything looked up. You got a quarterback in Caleb Williams. Like Brian Kelly, I think has maxed out what he could do at Notre Dame. And that one makes sense for me. He's been to the playoffs and he hasn't even been close. And I know Lincoln Riley hasn't won a playoff game either, but I feel like Oklahoma's a different spot. You can get the recruits you want. They're going to give you all the resources. Notre Dame, you have your hands tied behind your back with the academic restrictions and character issues that they do not let you into South Bend with that. So, for me, I thought Brian Kelly, when I first heard Brian Kelly potentially USC, I was like, yeah, it probably makes sense, get an opportunity. LSU was just a mind blown, holy cow, Brian Kelly to LSU, really? This is what's going to happen? All of it has just been absolutely wild. The season has been awesome. I don't know what you guys feel. I think this is the most entertaining, both on and off the field, college football season we've seen in 20 years. I cannot think of a season where we've had as many upsets as we've had, as many new players. We got a Cinderella story in Cincinnati. And then during the season, we're seeing these coaching bombshell moves. It's been awesome. But back to your original question, I was more surprised Lincoln Riley bolted for USC because I felt like he was going to stick it out and be one of those lifers at Oklahoma. And I know Oklahoma fans felt the same way, which is why they're not real thrilled in putting up traitor sign around Norman, letting their feelings be known about Lincoln Riley taking off to USC.
Well, yeah, you know what part of that is, though, Kanell. He didn't want to go coach in the best conference in college football. He didn't want to have to compete in the SEC where it's just brutal. You beat up on each other week in and week out. That's what it is.
I do think there is something to that. It is. Yeah. I'll say it is the most pressure-packed with the highest expectations on you. And I think he was smart enough to realize, because he's had 10, 11-win seasons every year at Oklahoma. And once your fan base gets used to that, they start thinking this is normal, which it is not normal. And I think he realized once you go to the SEC, there's only been one coach that has had that every single year, and it's Nick Saban. And every other coach has 8-win seasons. And guess what happens if you have an 8-win season and you're at Oklahoma and they're used to seeing 10 and 11-win seasons? Guess who's going to be out of a job? Lincoln Riley. I think he realized, you know what? I don't know what this is going to look like. I don't know. I like my job, but I don't know how much they're going to, we have to be realistic about expectations. And I also think it bothered him that they didn't ask him about the SEC move. He might have preferred staying in the Big 12 and staying at Oklahoma just where they are. And he probably was a little bit blindsided by that. And so, yeah, I think he saw USC as an opportunity to dominate a conference, to be the brand in the Pac-12, which he wasn't even at Oklahoma, which is kind of nuts. Oklahoma's won the Big 12 7 years in a row until this year, and they're not even the biggest brand. Texas is the biggest brand. That would bother me. So I think he wants to feel like, what does it feel like to be the big kid on the block, to own the landscape? And he can do that at USC, and I think he could have success fairly quickly in that conference because it is a little bit of a mess too. So I think Lincoln Riley read the tea leaves and said, you know what? I think this is going to be better for my long-term, my longevity, my legacy to play for more national championships. I think it was more of a business decision than anything.
All right, Danny Kanell with us. Let's talk a little bit about some of these numbers for some of our championship games. I want to start with Oregon and Utah and your take on this one, just because of what happened the last time these two teams met.
Yeah, it's nuts, right? Oregon was looking like a team that was playoff bound, and then they had a road trip to Salt Lake City to take on Utah, and Utah physically whooped them. I'm talking, it was not even close from start to finish, an all-around beatdown, 38-7, dominated every phase of the game, and yet that's a spot where Oregon has really struggled. Now, when there's pressure on the line, playoffs on the line, and they weren't supposed to, and I know they had the Ohio State win, but they weren't supposed to win against Ohio State. They were a 2-touchdown underdog. So they were like, hey, no one thinks we're going to win. We'll go out there, play loose, and they did. I like them in this game, which sounds crazy, but wouldn't it be just like the Pac-12 to have Oregon, who just got blown out, come back, win the Pac-12 as a 2-loss champ, and be left out yet again? The Oregon has owned the Big 12 championship game as of late. I think they win the game outright. So you can take the 2.5 points. I think they get revenge on Utah. I also think there's some of the play at Rice Eccles in Salt Lake City. Altitude impacts you. I think that affected them. I think seeing the way they got beat up, there's got to be pride in those Duck players. So I like the Ducks in the rematch in this one, which sounds crazy considering how they got blown out. But it's tough to beat a team like that twice in a row.
Yeah, no doubt. I know, and rumblings of Mario Cristobal interested possibly in your alma mater one day. We'll see.
I know, right?
Yes. Yeah. All right. Let's talk SEC because you mentioned, the guy that consistently always wins in the SEC, and Alabama now going in as the underdog in this game. And this line is 6.5. That's a monster line for an SEC championship game for Alabama to not be a favorite.
It's the first time Alabama's been an underdog since 2015. It's the first time they've been a 6.5-point underdog since 2008. They've been a favorite 92 straight games. It's remarkable the success that Alabama has had. All of it tells me, why wouldn't you take those points? Why wouldn't you take the 6.5? Not to mention everybody and their brothers on Georgia. 80% of the money, 84% of the bets are on the Georgia Bulldogs, which tells me the smart money, the sharp money is on Alabama. And if I can get Nick Saban as a 6.5-point underdog with a quarterback in Bryce Young, who's probably going to win the Heisman Trophy, I'll take that all day long. I do think Georgia finds a way to win. It just feels like it's their year. Their defense is so good. I do think this will be a low-scoring game. I like the under in this one as well. But if I can get Nick Saban, who, by the way, is 24-1 against his former assistants. He did lose to Jimbo Fisher this year, but he's owned Kirby Smart so far. If I can get 6.5 points with the Crimson Tide, I'll take them all day long.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick, Danny, before we get you out the door. You can answer this real simple. Is this where we're headed in college football as far as the SEC being what it is, guys joining them, and then the ACC, the Big 12, and the Pac-10 Pac-12 doing exactly what they're doing, like just being top-heavy. Maybe one or two teams tries to keep them afloat, but then you got the SEC just beating up on each other.
Yes, I think so. I wonder what the next shift is in college football because with Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC, and we're talking super conference already. They add those two. It's going to make it even bigger. The alliance, of these other conferences trying to keep up, the Big Ten trying to just hold steady. I think we're on the precipice of something big. And I don't know if it's even like a super league with 32 teams. Maybe the SEC gobbles up a lot of the ACC. But something needs to change. The other thing I've changed my mind on in general, I've always been a proponent for amateurism. I'm a believer that there's value in education. But when we're seeing coaches paid $17 million not to coach, and we're seeing money wasted, man, give some of that to kids. Give them a piece of the pie. When we're seeing Tom Herman, who's an offensive analyst for the Chicago Bears, getting $6.5 million this year and $7.5 million next year to just basically not even coach, to be an analyst, there's a problem with the amount of money that's being wasted. And let's give some of the players. You want to waste it, at least let the players who are putting their bodies on the line. And that is a massive shift in philosophy for me because I always was a believer that, the coaches, they do bring more to the table. They are employees. They get hired and fired. But the college football has become more like the NFL in every aspect. We have free agency, essentially. We do have endorsement deals. The one aspect we're not like the NFL is paying the players. I do think it's time for that to happen.
Ooh, there you go. We'll continue that conversation on the other side. Danny Kanell, courtesy of BetOnline, betonline.net. Check out BetOnline for updated college football playoff, Heisman, and conference championship week lines. Thank you so much, Danny. We always appreciate when you hop on here in Nashville and appreciate you, even though I like to give you a hard time.
I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy the game.
Thanks,
All right. Ice, baby. Danny Kanell is out. 3HL back right after this. Stick around. All right, I want to talk to you about Loan Pronto, loanpronto.com. I have actually used them. Mortgage rates on the move, obviously. Your home values are skyrocketing, and right now, best time to get cash out of your home's equity. That's what we did. You call Loan Pronto now. They can fast-track your home refi, get you a check for 50, 60, 70 grand, and if you call now, Loan Pronto can even pay your closing costs. So what can you do with that cash? Maybe you want to consolidate some other loans. Maybe you want to pay for holiday expenses. You know that those are coming up. Maybe you just need to get your finances in great shape for 2022. Lots of people getting cash out of their equity with Loan Pronto. Maybe you want to fix up your home, add a pool, add a bath. Your home value's up. You can get a new mortgage rate with an APR in the 2s. Now is the time to access your equity. Call Loan Pronto now. Put that equity in your home to work towards financial freedom. 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com. Do it now. You might even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Good evening. I am Joe Hunt with the Titans on a bye week and the Vols season over. All football eyes are paying attention to what's going on in Chattanooga as state championships are being handed out. The first one happened earlier today in the Division II AA state championship. Lipscomb Academy took out CPA 27-0. Just a little while ago, Donaldson Christian Academy beat Nashville Christian 31-7 in the D2 Single A championship. And coming up at 6 o'clock, McCallie will be taking on Montgomery Bell Academy for the D2 AAA championship. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. By the way, Major League Baseball on a lockout for Don and Slay. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans at home to 3HL out at T-Mobile. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back into 3HL, people. We are live today on location at T-Mobile.
Is Dawn okay?
We trying to, hopefully she is.
I just yelled at Slay and Kirby to stop talking. I'm like, let's go. And then I choked
And then
on
she started choking.
my own spit.
And you know what? I was going to
Couldn't talk.
continue talking to the people. We're live at T-Mobile with 3800 Hillsboro Pike, right across from Green Hills Mall, right next to Hillsboro High School. Come through and holler at us. Thank you for letting us use your space. And we'll be here tomorrow also.
Yes, Mayor will be back tomorrow.
Yes, he will.
Whole gang will be here.
Yep.
So
It'll be a
see
vendor
us.
outside also. What is it?
Why you got to ask me
No,
stuff on
I
the
was saying
fly
that because
like
you
that?
just had tacos, and I was going to ask you how the tacos were.
The tacos were phenomenal, but tacos are not here tomorrow.
They're not here tomorrow. I think it's
Pie
dogs.
Town Tacos is what we had, yes.
Daddy's Dogs will be there
Daddy's
tomorrow.
Dogs
Yes,
will be
from
here
1
tomorrow.
to 4.
Yeah, so get through here and holler at us. Get a
Blaine
phone,
and Mickey
get
will
a
be here
dog.
too.
Yep, they will be here for it. Yep.
Come see the Hitman.
There you go, and the Mixter. So you can also join us today on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
That's right. Yeah, we've covered a lot of things, man. We talked about Tannehill. We had Greg Cosell on. He broke that down, and we've had a lot of calls from the callers also. Got Ramon Foster still coming up. Danny Kanell dropped a lot of nuggets. If you just missed that, make sure you go back and tap into the podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Can't hurt. That's one thing for sure. He has some good
He
things.
was great.
He was really good. He's always good, though,
Yep.
when he comes on. So got Ramon Foster coming up in this hour, Savagery. Going to talk to him a little bit about everything. What do you do on the bye week? Also get a little insight about guys choosing to opt out of bowl games. That's the thing I want to hear.
We're going to hit Ramon on that?
Yeah, I want to hit him on it.
Well,
Because he's the one that gave
it's
me the
interesting
insight.
because you just heard Danny Kanell talk about, and Kanell used to be a diehard, and I have fallen into this as well in the
Right.
past, that, hey, your payment is a free education.
Right.
Especially nowadays. Are you kidding me? Do you know the value of that? That's how I always looked at my scholarship, was so valuable, and that I got my education paid for through scholarship to play sports. So, there's always, the players should be paid. Look at everything that, look at how much money this sport brings in and all of that. And then there's the other side of, their payment is, free education, whatever.
Yeah.
Not free because you work for it.
Right.
Student athletes
all
work
day long
for it. Yes,
Yeah.
there is no break. But anyway, you heard Kanell say
Yeah.
his mindset kind of shifted, and I think that plays into the decision to not play a bowl game, to forego your bowl game to get ready for a Senior Bowl, and all of this because Alontae Taylor at Tennessee has decided to do that. Now, his situation's a little different. He's been dealing with injury, a nagging injury that has not gone away, that he wants to get healthy for so he can have a chance to play at the next level.
Right.
But that plays into it. The fact that these players are not compensated. Now it's a little bit better now with name, image, and likeness, and they are able to make money off of that. So that helps, right?
Yes, without question.
But I think that Kanell comment ties into what you're talking about and what we're going to talk to Ramon about as far as skipping bowl games and, going to get ready for the draft.
Right. Yeah, and I think it's a great topic to have right now, especially with this coaching carousel and the college football landscape in flux as far as players going to different places, coaches also. But the person you just heard is Don Davenport, people.
Oh.
Hey, Don.
Hi. I'm in the building.
Yes, you are in the building. Joe Hunk at the
That was
studio
not
on
that
the board.
exciting.
I'm
was
in a
it?
different building.
Yeah, I'm in a
Don't
building.
just in the
But
building.
Ron Slay now.
I'm in
Oh.
the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. I'm in the
building. Yeah.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. That is right, people. And we are joined by Kirby. We got Caitlin here taking pictures and helping us out with technical things. Oh, I don't have, this is way out of my pay grade. I don't know what's going on over here. But yeah, that right there.
So we talked a little bit about this coaching carousel,
Yes.
right? And what Kanell brought up was the coaching buyouts and how much money is being paid to coaches to do nothing, just to get rid of them.
away. Hurry up and get away from my program.
Ross Dellinger put the number out
Uh-oh.
there for 2021 coaching buyouts.
Uh-oh.
The total, $90.4 million. 90.4. And that includes $17 million to Ed O.
Oh.
You can buy a
Oh.
whole lot of Cajun food for that.
I got a lot of gumbo.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. $12 million to Dan Mullen. We talked about that before it happened.
Yes.
Gary Patterson, $12 million. That hadn't been talked about. So many people want to talk about Dan Mullen's buyout.
Yeah.
Look at Gary Patterson's at TCU. Helton, $10 million. Fuente just got fired at Virginia Tech, $8.7 million. Wells, Texas Tech, $7.4 million. Steve Adazio just got fired, $3 million. And they go down. Holtz at Louisiana Tech, which the interim coach at Texas Tech, Sonny Crumby, is now the head coach at Louisiana Tech. But Holtz with $3 million. And the number, and you're still looking at Etzel, $400,000. I mean, so it's just silly. It's insane money for buyouts. Insane money.
I love my job, Babs. I love basketball so much. But at any point, I don't think it ever came to a point where they were like, you know what? We know we got a lot of money on the books with you. Could we pay you to get away? Like, just leave. Is it that they're doing such a bad job nowadays, or is it by giving you time, we're going to be left so far behind by the other teams or other conferences that we can't take that risk? Like, what is it? What is it? Like, everybody's not having a losing record back-to-back seasons. This may just be 1 year.
Ask Ed O about that.
You feel
2
what I'm
years
saying?
after
National
winning the
championship,
title.
Babs.
Now, there's a lot more
Yeah, of course.
that
Of
clearly
course.
has gone on behind the scenes.
But it's
there.
always been a lot more going on in college football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Virginia's head coach Bronco Mendenhall just said that he is going to be done at the end of the bowl season.
we wonder what that's about. That was a
This
telling.
was his quote.
Hey, come on, give it to me, please. Because
This
is
is
telling.
bizarre.
Mhm.
Bronco Mendenhall said he has been involved for the last 31 years in football. His quote, "Clearly this week there was a sense of clarity. I needed to step back from college football and reassess my life as well as my wife as my partner and next chapter of our life. This was my decision." Now, I will say this. I worked 2 Virginia games this year. I was supposed to work the Virginia FSU game last year that got canceled when I was in Tallahassee because of COVID. So I actually talked to Coach Mendenhall.
They shut you down on the road.
Yeah. I was out there ready to work a game.
They
Flew
paid
right
you to
back.
get away.
Yeah.
Get outta here.
And then worked a couple of games when he was at BYU as the head coach there. So I've had, numerous, I guess, opportunities to chat with Bronco Mendenhall. He is an extremely cerebral person, very analytical, ridiculously intelligent. Like the data, the analysis is very important. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't make rash decisions.
Right.
That statement to me comes off as you did something wrong.
Yeah.
And that is shocking to me. And if that's not the case, you never should have put out a statement like that. You should have worded it differently.
And he could have put a quarter out of what you said, what you just read from his tweet.
Yeah.
A quarter of that, and then stop.
Yeah.
I need to step back from college football and reassess
my priorities. Something.
Anything, and leave it right there.
Like, why even bring up your wife?
Hey.
Bizarre.
Come on.
Anyway.
Only person I would expect to hear something about their wife and not be in trouble is Miss Terry.
That's
Coach
right.
Saban's wife. That's it.
She's the boss.
But she may give her own announcement when she's so bossy. Yeah.
She's the one.
She's the boss.
She's going to give Nick's retirement announcement.
There you go. Exactly.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll get Ramon Foster in here to chat a little bit coming up next. Also, Ramon will probably be good. We'll take some of your calls as well. I know Ray wants to talk about the BCS system. That's old school, Ray. Come on. We'll talk about it, though. And if you want to jump in, 615-737-1045. This is 3HL on 1045 The Zone.
Hard to believe the holiday season is here, as Babs kept pointing out yesterday. December is here, and you need to get up on it. And you know what I mean by that. Your gifting responsibilities coming up quickly. Brentwood Jewelry. My friends at Brentwood Jewelry can help you. All you need to do is simply go to Brentwood Jewelry, walk in the door, and just start talking. Let those guys know who you are. They want to see you. They want to get to know you. They want to get that relationship going where they know how to help you each and every time you walk in with your gifting responsibilities. And that's what's going to happen. We all know Christmas, a popular time to propose. It's also time for giving to those that you love. Brentwood Jewelry can give you the experience that you want, like a surprise gift of that dream ring that she's always wanted at a price that you can afford. Maybe you're looking for something custom and unique. Consult with their custom design team or choose from their selection of fine jewelry, watches, or engagement rings, or bring in that priceless heirloom and you can have them transform that into the special gift that your special person can wear every day. Just go see my friends at Brentwood Jewelry, 7012 Church Street. In the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day. For more than 50 years, visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Now, a high school football scoreboard update. Presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office on 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica. 2 of the 3 D2 finals in Chattanooga are in the books today. Earlier today, an 11 a.m. kickoff, Lipscomb Academy defeated CPA 27-0 in the D2 AA championship. Future Boston College running back Alex Broom, the MVP, 137 rush yards and 2 touchdowns. And just a few minutes ago, DCA wrapped up a 31-7 final over Nashville Christian. Congrats to the Wildcats, who are your D2 single-A champs. Jacob Cook, the MVP, a 10-tackle performance plus a 91-yard kickoff return. The day's not over in Finley Stadium. Coming up with a 6 p.m. Central kick, it will be McCallie and MBA going head-to-head for the D2 AAA title. And tomorrow, the D1 games will begin. Designate a sober game plan. If you've been drinking, don't drive. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you, fans don't let fans drive drunk.
We did it.
Nice to meet you. War Eagle. 3HL on 104.5 The Zone, live here at T-Mobile in Green Hills. We're here for, extra 35 minutes. We're here till 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Just talked to a nice Auburn alum, Auburn fan, War Eagle.
War damn Eagle.
Love to talk to you. Would love for you to come in and say hi. And we're also going to be here live tomorrow. So it was Blaine and Mickey on 104.5 The Zone, T-Mobile, right across from the mall at Green Hills. It's 3800 Hillsboro Pike. So come see us. There'll be food from 1 to 4 too. So
Yes.
I love talking to people. Love chatting with people. Hey, before we get to Ramon real quick, let's hop on the phones because I said I would. And I know we have some callers. So first, let's talk to Ray. Ray on his cell talking BCS system. I just feel like we've gone back like 5 years there.
Yeah.
Hi, Ray.
Hi.
How are
Thanks,
you?
Ron, Don. Y'all have a fantastic show. Listen to you every day.
Appreciate that, Ray.
Questions. Georgia beats Alabama. Is Alabama still in the mix of the BCS, assuming Michigan, Cincinnati wins?
No.
Nah, that'll be
Nope.
tough. That'll
They'll be done. Yeah. It's the college football playoff now. But yeah, if Alabama's only chance, and I'm sure Greg Sankey is pulling for Bama, not that he would ever say that, but Alabama's chance and the SEC's only chance to have 2 teams in is for Bama to beat Georgia in the SEC championship. Now there could be some crazy things, I guess, that happen elsewhere, but Alabama has to win.
Yeah, without question.
And they are a 6.5-point dog.
Yeah,
to the Dogs.
I'm taking under. I haven't even checked to see
Kanell
what
was
the
like,
is.
why would you not take 6.5 with Nick Saban?
Yeah.
I will say this. They're feeling good with where they are after what they just did against Auburn late when they could not do jack that entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, I got texts from you guys thinking it was over, that Auburn was going to win that one.
Yeah, way to jinx us, Slay.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome. I need to know.
I think it was Mayer, actually, wasn't it?
No, it was me.
Oh, no, it was Slay. It was definitely Slay.
Yeah. I need to know is Williams back, the receiver. He got hit with a targeting. The guy had to sit out the rest of the game. Was that? I'm not sure if it was the second half, because if it was the second half, it would have to sit out in the first half, right? So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, he's good to go for the game.
Okay, so that's key.
So that was first half.
That's very, very key for them. Because one thing I didn't know, I thought Mechie could create a bigger play. If it seems to me that the big play threat is Williams, and Mechie is the possession guy. Because Mechie, boy, he creates a lot of separation from his corner in quick bursts and quick routes. So, but Williams takes the top off for Alabama, which once he went out the game, like, they wasn't scared anymore of big play threats. So, want to see that against Georgia. Know they need all of them. All right.
Let's bring in Savage, Ramon Foster from J-Mart and Ramon in the mornings here on 104.5 The Zone, Vol for Life. How many years in the NFL? 11.
And a half.
I always want to, like, up it.
I'm putting a little half on there.
I always put 13 on it.
That's cool. But, yeah, you always take me to 15.
13 I'll take 13 if they give me the extra checks, Don.
That's right. Hi, Ramon. How are you? What's your take on this Alabama-Georgia game on Saturday, 6.5?
Man, I'll say this. Alabama is one of those things. It's kind of like going to McDonald's. You know what you're going to get every time you play them, and that's how I kind of feel. No matter if they have lost a game or two, is the fact that they're always going to compete. So it's hard to say that Georgia's going to run away with it because Alabama still find ways to win games. I mean, they should have lost last weekend, but Alabama do Alabama-like things and find ways to win games. The only thing that I still question with Georgia, and it's because they are a team that I other than a run game, I didn't know if they had a whole lot of offense. So if Alabama finds a way to stop their run game, can they actually go through the air against Alabama, which we know Alabama can do those things. So it's a toss-up still to me, but Georgia is the stronger team on paper, especially defensively.
Wow. I like that.
There you go.
That's why I stand with it, too. I stay right there with my boy.
You stand with your boy.
Stand with my guy all times.
We'll dive into that game a little bit more tomorrow and as we get closer. But, Ramon, we have had the conversation with the news from Alontae Taylor. He put out that he's going to forego the bowl game for Tennessee, which, by the way, what did they play? 19 defensive players in that game I worked against Kentucky. So now that's going to, go down to 18? I mean, goodness. But anyway, so and let me preface this with I love Alontae Taylor. I have enjoyed every conversation I've had with him. He is one of my favorite people ever. And he has been so honest every time I've talked to him, and I have felt like I could, ask him anything and he would answer, and I did, especially, with the whole Jeremy Pruitt era and then into this era, and he has been really honest and forthcoming. So he is one of my favorite players. Now he has decided to not play in the bowl game to get ready for the Senior Bowl and get ready for the NFL draft. Here's the caveat with Alontae. He's been dealing with an injury, I think, for the last probably 3 games. Just a nagging injury that he has to fix and get healthy if he wants to be at his best to show out for the next level. But I want your take on players, and Slay too, on players deciding not to play in a bowl game, sitting out, leaving their team, not playing in the bowl game to get ready for their future. Your take?
In his situation, he's a senior. He's played a lot. He's done a lot. He entered the season injured for the most part, and he needs to get healthy. He's got a little bit of a grace period right now to go rehab. I'll say this. I'm in full agreement with him leaving, simply because it's 2 parts of it. One part of it is for the school. The bowl games now, if it's not a BCS or one of those, name bowls that we used to just really covet, then what's the use of playing in it if you got an opportunity as a senior to just go train and get ready and get healthy? And I'll say this also, it's for the guys that are coming back. They'll have an opportunity to get some reps in. This is almost like a pre-spring practice for everything that the spring game has. Everything that this bowl game has. So I think it's more beneficial for Tennessee for him not to go play in this bowl game. Now, if Heupel has a escalator in his contract that says if you win this game, well, guess what? Heupel will make that money back on the back end. But these reps to these young guys so that this defense can be better going into next year, I think is more beneficial to this team than it probably is for him about that decision, about him making that decision. We've seen coaches time and time again just cash in and cash out and jump jobs. And I think right now we've had 2 whales of coaches just switch teams. And you can't be mad at a coach, honestly, taking advantage of the opportunity he's getting. When you have that type of power, you feel like you have that type of power to get this go to the next level and you know that you are going to be that type of player, then it's on you to make that decision for yourself. Me personally, until the NCAA do something about what bowl games mean, what is it going to look like and why you want your seniors to play in it, then this is going to happen all the time. I have zero problem. I quote tweeted him about it. I told him salute him for doing it. He's a smart kid. He's done everything you wanted him to do. He's literally sacrificed a lot to get to this point. Getting his degree, graduating, played a whole lot at the University of Tennessee, and honestly went through the headache of last year. I don't know who it was that said this, but imagine you finally get the opportunity to make it through last year with Pruitt and then get through this year and have fun and play well enough to where you get invited to the Senior Bowl. I got to go. The coaches understand that. Heck, they're looking at the new guys like step up somebody. So it was a smart business decision by him. And by the way, if it's Tennessee fans that are mad, you can't be mad because he got y'all free cookies on his pick six.
Yes, he did.
Numerous times.
Yeah. See, I was going to ask Ramon, and you gave me clarification. For people that don't understand, just what does the Senior Bowl give? Like, what opportunity is it for a player to leave and go get ready for that?
Did you play, Ramon? Were you in it?
Or
was it around back
Senior
then?
Bowl. It was the Senior Bowl then, and it was two Senior Bowls. It was the East-West Shriner game, which I played in Houston. It was the Awesome Bowl. I played with a bunch of guys that was, let's say, mid-tier schools. Like, I was kids from TSU, some linemen that probably was, second team all conference. It was a couple quarterbacks. Chase Daniels was there. It was a lot of guys that played in the league that was there. Zach Fulton's brother was there too. So it was a bunch of guys that made it. And if you played well enough or they wanted to see more of you, then you got the invite to the Senior Bowl. But I think right now it's only the Reese's Senior Bowl. And where the difference between the Shiners and the Reese's one is, at the Reese's Senior Bowl, which is Alante is going to, you got more GMs, you got more head coaches, you got more of the main scouts there to put eyes on you. And it was a guy that I played with at the East-West game, Wallace Gilbert. I think it may have been who it was, but he ended up getting an invite to the Senior Bowl. I think it ended up going to the third round simply because he performed well. One of my teammates, Robert Ayers, ended up getting defensive MVP of the Senior Bowl, and I think that honestly assisted him as far as going first round too, because he dominated against really good talent. That one right there is the one you want to go to. So for the fans that, say it's something against him opting out, well, he got to get healthy because I know a guy that played at South Carolina that ended up coming to Pittsburgh undrafted. He went to the combine and did a bowl game with a broke foot. He tested bad. He jumped bad. Everything he did at the combine wasn't what his athletic ability said it was. And because of that, he went undrafted. And to this day, he'll tell you himself, look, I shouldn't have went and tested because the numbers they got on me weren't accurate. And because of that, I think it's smart with what Alante is doing by getting healthy. Like, we gotta show love where it's necessary. This kid is trying to provide for himself and potentially for his family at some point too. And why not, let him jump to the Senior Bowl and make that decision, because now he's a full adult and he's got every right to make that decision.
Now, what I compare that to in basketball is a pre-draft camp called Portsmouth, and guys that are teetering around the line, and not invitational, not invited automatically to Chicago pre-draft camp. You go to this camp in Virginia, and then you get seen by other guys, and you get to increase your stock, and hopefully get invited to the pre-draft camp in Chicago. So I fully understand that now, but I didn't know at first, and that's why I called Ramon and asked him, like, what's the difference in this? Like, why would you do that? Because I'm on the side of, hey, man, listen, you can't leave your brothers out there, dog. You know what I mean? You got to go out there and fight. Mm-hmm. But when it's put to me like that, especially with the window closing in football, it's totally different than basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all bodies go through it in football. We do too, but y'all, of course, is different.
And this is the other part too. I think it's head coaches that are coaching the East-West. Not the East-West, the Reese's Senior Bowl. And you got opportunity. I know for sure. I know our coaches go down there. It's like, I saw him at the Senior Bowl. I like what I saw out of him. So you get those type of eyes on you. You get a full NFL offensive defense. And then, so when I did the East-West, it was retired coaches that were coaching us, or like young position coaches. There you get the seasoned guys. You get the scout of all scouts. You get the GMs, you get the head coaches, and sometimes you get the owners down there. So why would you not try to drop everything you got to get healthy so that you can perform well at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, that's spot on. Ramon, what did you used to do, man? You know, this bye week late in the season like this, coming off a couple of losses, you got guys banged up. What would you do to get away from the game to recharge to come back for a stretch run?
Man, I try to stay, rest, active rest, number one, especially this late in the year. I've had a week 12 bye week before, and all you want to do is have some active rest. And I say by like Thursday evening, Friday, find a way to just deprogram yourself from the game. Watch college football as much as you can, man, and just chill out. If you got some errands you've been meaning to do that. I'm actually, it's funny you say it, it's the guy that's trying to get right to. I'm actually meeting up with Bud tomorrow just to kick it with him for a little bit because I'm sure he probably just, want to kick back and just be a guy or be around some people he knows. And that's what I always did, man. I would find ways to text my friends and just do mindless things because that's the thing about the game. Like, when it's in season, you're never off. Right. And because of that, when you got a bye week this late in the year, you got to find ways to just deprogram yourself and say, you know what, forget it. I'm done for this week, and I'll pick back up on Monday. That's what I would do. The earlier bye weeks, if it was like week 4 to week 6, I was usually coming back down to Tennessee just to see the house and get out of the city for a little bit. When you're pressed to stay in a city that, you don't live in full time, I'm going to probably stay there if it's a late bye.
Right.
Well, this is certainly a late bye.
It is.
Goodness. Most important question here on the way out, Ramon. As the analyst for the 2A TSSAA state championship game, have you concluded your film work? Are you ready to call this game?
Babs. The only thing I'm worried about is, do I call you Don or do I call you Babs? And if somebody score, am I high five and run? Like, I'm ready for this game. I'm excited to see this Simpson kid up close and just watching what Hampton has done so far. And truth be told, you heard me on the call when we did the coaches press conference, Babs. I asked Hampton's quarterback. I said, if you get the opportunity, because he's a starting safety too, are you going to hit Ty Simpson? And he, tried to dance around it, and then he ended it with, well, I'm a competitor. If I get him, I want to hit him because I got the opportunity to get my name out there. I was like, aha, there we go, right there. He's going to try to make his name off the show, and Ty Simpson is the show.
Yes. For those that don't know, by the way, Ty Simpson committed to the University of Alabama, which he reiterated in that press conference too, Ramon. Do you believe that? What? He said, I'm committed to Alabama. I am fully committed.
Babs, give it time. Give it time, okay? Recruiting never ends. You see the number 1 overall prospect is taking an official visit to UT this weekend.
Is it?
When I was done with my recruiting, and Ron, you tell me if you were, like, when I committed to Tennessee, I took my visit to Tennessee, and that was it. I wasn't flirt with no other school.
Me too. Yep, that's factual. Wow.
Hey, times are different now. Shoot, you don't even know who the coach is going to be half the time. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from the early signing period. December 15th. Not even 2 weeks.
I know. Yeah, it's wild style out here. And there's something we could talk about, too, on Air, Babs, if you want to game plan this game for Saturday.
I like it,
There
Mom.
you go.
Already
Look at you. You're already producing.
What y'all want the spotter to do?
Not screw it up. Don't give us the wrong number.
Don't talk.
I'm talking. Somebody give me a mic.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. We'll social media it while we're out there. Ramon, we always appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on with us.
No problem, Babs. Anytime.
All right, Sam.
See you later. All right, that's Ramon Foster. You can catch him on J-Mart and Ramon every single morning. We will be back to wrap up the show, wrap up our 5 o'clock hour. It's Dawn Davenport, Ron Slay, Joe Hunk, 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. All right, let's talk about insanely clean carpets. We all need them. No one can clean like Zero Res because only Zero Res cleans with powered water. There's no soap, there's no residue, there's no stinky, harsh chemicals. Their powered water technology cleans and sanitizes your surface. Zero Res does this without detergents, and that means a couple of things. For one, that means your carpet stays cleaner longer. There's no soap, no residue, so that soft, fluffy carpets that stay clean longer with no soap lingering to attract dirt. And another plus, your surfaces dry twice as fast. Zero Res, no harsh chemicals, and that means it's pure safety for your family, your four-legged pets, your little ones that are crawling all over your carpet. Give Zero Res a call and let them give you insanely clean carpets. By the way, they have a special going on right now. I need to check with them. I think it's still going on for right now. Tell them Dawn sent you 3 rooms of carpet cleaned plus a free hallway for $119. They also do air duct cleaning, and they're offering $50 off of air duct cleaning as well. Some restrictions may apply, but give them a call at 615-535-9376. You can book online at Zero Res Nashville. That's REZ, ZeroResNashville.com. 615-535-9376. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
What up, people? You know who it is. It's me, Ron Slay, and I'm here to talk to you about getting the car. Now, Music City Autoplex is the way I would go. Probably not the way a lot of people would, but a lot of people should. Reason being, because I did it, and I'm speaking from experience. I came back home from overseas after playing a 14-year career. Had never bought a car outside of being overseas. Now, this is what I'm telling you. I went to the lot, figured out, there's a lot going on. Then I went online, MusicCityAutoplex.com, found the truck that I wanted, Infinity. Nice tinted windows, had rims on it and everything. 22-inch rims, matter of fact. Went to the picture of it, clicked on it, zoomed in on it. Everything looked good, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go down there. I went down there. Everything was perfect. When I walked in, there was plenty of love shown. Zach car was sitting right there, all cleaned up, ready for me to get in it. It wasn't no hoops to jump through or anything. 30 different banks for me to work to. 2430 Gallatin Pike North. You can go there, do the exact same thing I did. Music City Autoplex. Go get your car.
Now, a high school football scoreboard update. Presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office on 104.5 The Zone.
2 games down, 1 to go in the Division II state championships in Chattanooga today. Good afternoon. I'm Lucas Panzica. It started with Lipscomb Academy completing an undefeated season, a 27-0 win over CPA in the D2 AA state championship game. Running back Alex Broom, the MVP, 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then it was DCA knocking off Nashville Christian in a rematch, 31-7 the final. Jacob Cook, the MVP, 10 tackles and a 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. One more private school championship game to go. 9-3 MBA taking on undefeated McCallie coming up in about 10 minutes from Finley Stadium in Chattanooga. Designate a sober game plan. If you've been drinking, don't drive. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you, fans don't let fans drive drunk.
I like that, Hunk. Welcome back into 3HL. This is it with me, Ron Slade, Don Davenport, and Joe Hunk behind the glass. Mayor is out, but he will be back tomorrow. And you all, guess what? Y'all can catch us in the same exact spot, same exact location tomorrow at T-Mobile, right here on 3800 Hillsboro Pike, right across the street from Green Hills Mall. Great show today, action-packed. Make sure you go back and podcast it anywhere you do your podcast. Ramon Foster was terrific. Danny Kanell was terrific. Greg Cosell was terrific. The callers, your input was terrific. So we want to hear from you all again tomorrow. Babs?
Yes, and yes. T-Mobile, 3800 Hillsboro Pike. So we will see you tomorrow. Yes. Blaine and Mickey are going to be here as well. Also, just want to point out as we close out today about our Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program and our toy field that we're building. And it's presented by T-Mobile, as a matter of fact. It's Tuesday, December 7th. So here's the deal. All of our shows are going to be broadcasting live from Nissan Stadium on Tuesday, December 7th. Bring an unwrapped toy for the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program. We will not be broadcasting live there. We are actually going to be at Buffalo Wild Wings in Cool Springs because that is our normal weekly appearance.
Yep.
At Buffalo Wild Wings for the Titans feast. So that is going to be a secondary drop-off location. So if you're in that area and you want to go grab an unwrapped toy when you're out shopping, you can come see us at B-Dubs. You can say hi. I'm not sure who our player is going to be yet. That's coming off the bye week. We'll figure that out and let you know, but you can stop by B-Dubs and also bring an unwrapped toy, and we will ship it over to our toy field for the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program. If you want more information, 1045thezone.com is where you go for that. But awesome program. This is one of my favorite things we do as a station, and it's really important, especially nowadays. I mean, it's always important, but with COVID, a lot of people hitting tough times,
right.
And we want to make sure that kids are not forgotten over the holidays.
Yes. Nothing in the world like waking up and seeing a gift. I don't care if it's one gift. I don't care if it's a small gift, large gift, a gift, man. To know that somebody's thinking of you, it means the world. Trust me.
Yep. No doubt. Fun show today, Slay.
Great job, Babs.
Yes, good job to you. We'll be back here tomorrow at T-Mobile. What's coming up next? Is it
we got the 3HL after party.
Hey,
that's right. Greg Cosell is going to be on there.
Okay, good stuff.
Hey man, salute to all the kids, man, playing in the state championship.
Yes.
Good luck to you guys that are playing tomorrow and Saturday. Keep your head up for the ones that lost.
That's right.
It is what it is. Keep fighting, baby.
Yes, Mayor will be back. Congratulations to his son who just played his final high school football game. For CPA, Connor, and They did not win, but
No, they didn't.
what a great season and what a great career. I want to say he has like 4 other state titles in
Yeah.
other sports. So.
Salute to Davidson,
Yes.
the Wildcats won, and salute to Lipscomb Academy, the Mustangs, Trent Dilfer and company. Way to get it done.
There you go. Trent Dilfer, super emotional after that win, too.
Means something to him, man.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. All right. Well, 3HL is out. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Come see us. We'll be live out here at T-Mobile across from the mall at Green Hills.
Team Android.
Team iPhone. See ya.
Damn. Yeah. Peter Burns, Josh Warden.
I never know. I'm never here on Fridays.
Yeah, Mary Annie. Let me text her real quick. All right, let's go.
All right. You just.
Peter Burns and Josh Ward.